It's okay. Off your mind, it's okay. Off your mind,
Chai! Now wow, people wey supposed talk truth to power don't off mind. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle so they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my yegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo. My yegun don't come, oh, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo. My yegun don't come, oh, yo. Man of the masses, my ego don't come, oh, my ego now I'm on, do.
Hello there.
Ayekun làwa mọ̀, àmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Ayekun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. It is Mayegun Live.
Ó bá ṣe àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun diary, ó sì tún ṣe.
Brethren,
Àgbọ̀ níbẹ̀ o.
welcome to the Temple of Truth tonight.
Diary politico. Mayegun diary,
share this broadcast. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them Mayegun today.
Ani Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary, Ani ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé.
RUGA in Enugu.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
In the communities where over 50 people have been killed.
Ani ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
No, it's not RUGA. That is the state government.
Ani
lies.
Wọ́n bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Whatever you are suffering or going through right now, Oshio says don't blame Thiefnubu. Blame Buhari. Also tonight, Arabambi of the famous Pampas. They said that the chairman of Labour Party, Julius Abure, sorry, who is that? They said Julius Abure is yet to account for over 2 billion naira for the presidential election. Arabambi. So good morning to you once again, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. It is Mayegun Live. We are going to start tonight with the developing story from Enugu. And these are women that you can see, they are like the widows of the victims of Fulani terrorism in Enugu State. 2 days ago, in fact, they have been at it for the past few weeks. But 2 days ago, they staged one of their biggest protests against what they called the using their land as settlement for the Fulani terrorists in that part of eastern Nigeria. As much as this has generated a lot of arguments, I don't know if you know about it. But the core heart of the story is that these communities, I'm going to try because I kind of jotted them down, right? So these communities from areas like areas, like Uzo, Uwane, local government area in particular, the people of these communities in this local government area of Enugu, right? They have been under incessant, endless attacks from the Fulani terrorists to the point that they have decided that they do not want them around their communities. And bone of contention, the Fulani terrorists who are kidnapping and killing them, right, are indeed, camping in their own forest. So they can't go to their farms, okay? So they staged the protest when they heard that the state government, Enugu state government, has made, concluded an arrangement, okay, to use part of those communities, their lands, right, as government designated, ranches. That is the trick, government ranches. But the people of the community are like, if government is going to invest in agriculture, right? I mean, it should probably be something not like encouraging and enabling the terrorists who have wreaked havoc in their communities. I mean, they have bodies to show for this, people who have been killed. So yesterday, women who are the state government responded by saying, no, some people are trying to play politics with it. We're just trying to set up ranches so they will be controlled by government. So these ranches, governments can with them bring in the Fulanis who understand how to ranch or to rear cows. So this is their way of bringing peace and development to Uzo Uwane local government area. So these women that you're going to see on your screen now, these are not just women who are protesting this. So these women have been, they have experienced the direct attacks from these Fulani terrorists personally. these women have lost 50 of their own husbands, okay, to this same terrorist. And it was, in fact, the protest was tagged that the widows of the Fulani terrorism rejects RUGA in their community. Take a look at their faces. I mean, just so you can register that and know this is real.
These are the widows that the Fulanis killed their husband. The herdsmen killed their husband in 2016. They say they don't want to see them at all. They don't want to see them at all. They don't want to see them again. Nobody should talk of RUGA. Nobody should talk of rent. Nobody should talk of rent. Nobody should talk of number. They are crying again. It's a memory of what they have forgotten. This is the memory of what they have forgotten. They don't want to cry again. They kill their husbands. They kill their husbands. Wow. They couldn't control the emotion. They couldn't control the emotion. In Limbo 2016, they lost their husband. See them crying. See them crying. What a pity. They don't want the memory of ranch of Araba. Yes. They don't want. They don't want. They don't want. Yes. They don't want. 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 They rape some of these women, abuse them. They don't want to hear anything about RUGA. They don't want to hear anything about ranching. They don't want to hear. Yes, they don't want them. They killed their husbands. They killed their husbands in 2016. These women lost their husband. Yes, see the mass burial. The mass burial in 2016. Mass burial of 2016. They don't want no memory.
I know that's so loud, yeah. I'm so sorry, I should have warned you, okay? But yeah, those are like real victims that the memory of their losses and then their mass burials, they do not want that to happen again. Don't bring RUGA to our communities. These are women, men and women, right, who lives in the rural areas, whose core occupations is farming. Yeah. And majority of them cannot go to their farms in some of these endangered communities. Or you have seen some of these, lily-livered usurpers that you called governors or government there, right? Doesn't really matter as long as it is going to advance its political survival as governor, it will bring it upon its people. Somebody is doing similar thing in Imo State. Uzodingba, Uzodijo is doing the same thing in Imo State, where a lot of people have been killed just to get them and get rid of them from their communities, and for him to fulfill his own pledge to this same terrorist. I mean, it is real. I know a lot of them have tried so much to try to gaslight the victims by trying to blame or look for those they could blame it on in those communities. But listen, the victims are real. And this could just be any of us. You know that. So their governors or their government, their governor said, no, we are just trying to build ranches. Ranches for who? Oh yeah, state government ranches. But what about the communities that reject such? Because it's pretty much like a land grabbing now, you know, the people who owns their land. But somehow you are grabbing the land in order to settle the terrorists that have been terrorizing your own people. That's part of the whole wahala, yeah? Mind you, today could have been so different because yesterday, Nigeria, Super Eagles, was at the final of AFCON, the African Cup of Nations, okay? And somehow, the APC, Egbekegbe, that has brought untoward hardship upon Nigerians to the point that as close by as Ivory Coast is to Nigeria, even a university professor would have to save 3 straight months of his or her salary to be able to afford the air ticket from Nigeria to go and watch the final. But when Nigeria qualified for that final, a lot of Nigerians in Nigeria, for the first time in a long time, forgot about their worries. No light, no job, no money, no security, no this, no that. All the depression, the frustration seems to just have disappeared among the majority of the population. Football brings the people together. It would have been a thing of joy, sincerely, if Nigerians are not facing this man-made, intentional corruption and hardship that they are facing today. But let's bring it back a little bit. APC, Egbekegbe, decided to jump into it. And I remember how majority of these football-loving Nigerians rebuffed them. Stay away. Or we all know they had no control over them anyway, okay? But they still went anyway. So Shettima went, and it was a tough one, okay? And they told him, please don't come back. Don't ever get involved in this. Now, cut the long story short, Shettima was at the stadium yesterday, and banters here and there over what could really go wrong, right? And what would eventually go wrong. But do you know why I am sharing this with you now? Because generally, it seems that people were divided over if they should be happy that Nigeria is playing football, Eagles playing football somewhere, right? And, it's going to bring what? Glory or whatever to Nigeria and all that. But that's kind of like, a fallacy. But there are those who believe that, would you guys please stop living in this Yolala land and face the reality? A bag of rice is now 80,000 naira. I heard. A dollar is now 1,000, nearly 1,500, so to say, Abi. And things are still what they are, not changing. So if suddenly you want to start, showing that all those things don't matter anymore for that moment. Let's enjoy, let's have fun. Some people felt like it's absurd, it's absolute rubbish. But a lot of people felt like, well, you know what? People have been so hammered. They have been economically destroyed. Depression everywhere. If this is something that can at least make them feel better, even if it's just for 24 hours, let them have it. Anyway, for those who are for and those who are against, they all have their points. Last, the Super Eagles lost. As painful as it is to a lot, it's not painful to others because, number one, for those who really watched the game, you will realize that you probably should be asking yourself, how did they get to the final? How? Was that how they were playing that they got to final? Right? Then, where is that fighting spirit that probably would be like to reciprocate the level of love, the level of passion, emotion that you all invested on them, hoping that they will bring you happiness, that light no day, road no day, security no day, job no day, this, that no day. Baba God, may he just give you this one to have something to at least play about with, Abi. So they were supposed to probably have seen all of that. I didn't see that spirit in them. I didn't see any fighting thing in them that actually shown that they were actually playing final. Right. Meanwhile, behind the scene, APC, Ebekegbe, they were already cooking how they were going to milk the AFCON Cup if Super Eagles should win. You have no idea. In fact, some boys, they were already waiting so that they go open shop on top, say, Nigeria win AFCON. And all of these were later truncated. But it won't really change much. What were the plan? Ilu Jogbo, where everybody is, where everybody is in pain, one pain or another. Ilu Jogbo. These criminals, they've already drafted the scripts to tell you that, listen, as you are currently celebrating the Eagles and all that, this is just the beginning of the good thing to come and all that. And they were also going to use it. Once you begin to try, to continue to probe them, they were going to use the line of all of you unpatriotic people who no believe in blah, 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 blah. The renewed hope is coming. The renewed shege and all of that nonsense. Most of them will end up as jokes, okay? However, it wasn't just going to be about how the propaganda is played. It is how much money, job for the boys, that was already, in the oven. So that's kind of shut down. And also, those of you who were supposed to, those of you who were like always telling them to sort of stay away from this or stay away from, you know what I mean, because we know who you are. We don't want our this and that too. Now with this disappointment as well, okay, it simply means everybody will easily and quickly come back to reality. Their cooked propaganda is not going to be needed anymore. Okay? So Thiefnubu, that was already they have already started doing some level of, exercise for Kolu, so that when they give her the cup, it won't fall down. All of this is not going to happen. And they are now using reverse psychology, in case if you have not noticed. Like I said, those of you who I wanted them to win. You know, I told you that 2 days ago. I actually wanted them to. But some people were like, no, okay. But none of us had control over what will happen or how it's going to happen. You know what I mean? It's just how we sort of feel based on whatever we feel like, right? Which is all right by me. I don't have any problem with that. Okay? So those of you who don't want them to win because of the situation on ground, those of you who wanted them to win because people don't like lose too much, lose for so long, they need an happiness. I told you, you all have your point, but it doesn't matter anymore. We're all back to that square one very fast. That is what really matters now. And the reverse psychology they are using, reverse psychology. You see, those of you who, when Thiefnubu said, our local for the Nations Cup, a lot of people automatically switched and said Nigeria should lose. Because it was going to be an agenda, a serious one. Media, everything. You will be seeing everybody thanking Thiefnubu. Thank you so much for your time. You had the first this or that and all that nonsense. So when he said the Milokon, everybody switched like, make Nigeria lose. Meanwhile, like I said, it's not in any of us control, okay? Now, the reverse psychology they are using now is that those of you who wanted Nigerians to face what is facing them and stop deluding themselves with this Nations Cup distraction. Like, some even look at the Nations Cup as just like that of your big brother Nigeria, big brother Africa, every other thing they use to distract the young people. Okay? So they are now using the reverse psychology that it is because you people don't wish Nigeria well. Underline that word, wish Nigeria well. Remember, that is their famous line. A lot of you are just, even if you don't like APC, even if you don't shake any cock in the con, at least you should wish Nigeria well. You should be patriotic. Some of them are so deluded that they don't know that statement that many of us have psychologically succeeded from Nigeria. Officially, we are not stateless. We are from Nigeria. Okay? But unofficially, a lot of us have mentally, psychologically, so many have actually physically detached themselves from Nigeria. And you might say, what about their families there? Of course, their family lives in Nigeria. Okay? That doesn't make them in any way feel connected to anything Nigeria anymore. And some of you may be finding that difficult to process, but it's okay. You will get there and you will understand later. It doesn't mean that we wish, well, I don't say it for everyone. For somebody like me, I don't wish evil on Nigeria. Okay? And wishes don't really mean anything as well. Okay? When somebody says, I wish you good luck. Okay? And on your way, you have an accident and something happened. They did wish you good luck. Wishes are just like, like thoughts. I say, okay, I will want that for you. Somebody like me do not wish evil on Nigeria. And that is why I am educating a lot of you that have been socially conditioned to live in the fear that they created. Okay? And that fear is the fact that if anybody says, let us discuss this fraudulent contraption, where none of us actually came together to say we want to be a country, truthfully, is forced on us. Now, if anybody says, let's have that conversation, they automatically, because you are socially conditioned that way, even when the whole contraption is not working for you, all right? You are conditioned to be triggered, to automatically feel like it's about somebody trying to come and take something from you, or somebody is trying to take, something so valuable once they divide Nigeria. There are people who conditioned you that way. Do you understand? But whether we wish Nigeria well or we don't wish Nigeria well, there are those who are actually working day and night, destroying Nigeria. That is not wishes. That is doings. Do you understand? Oh, I wish I can be in London tomorrow. That's a wish. I am going to be in London tomorrow. That means that's a will. Like, I will be there. I wish. I wish there is power. I mean, there is, 24 hours electricity in Nigeria. Is my wish going to give you 24 hours electricity? Or I wish that Nigerian naira is 50 naira to $1. When some other people are doing and destroying the economy, devaluing the naira, what would my wish do or change? Now let's come back to their reverse psychology. So the reverse psychology is to make you feel like your expression, how you feel, which in itself is in reaction to what they are doing. They have destroyed Nigeria, and they will do everything to distract the people from actually taking actions. Do you understand that? So when they want you distracted, and you say, no, I don't want to be distracted. I want you to tell us what's going on here. Explain this. I say, why are you not patriotic? Why do you always wish evil on Nigeria? Everybody is happy that we are in a final. And you are talking about the economy. Is it now that you should be talking about, why are you not patriotic? Why do you always wish evil on Nigeria? No, they are gaslighting you. It is a reverse psychology. Do you understand? Yeah. They want you to shut up. And that exact conversation you want to have, come on, do like others. Everybody is distracted. Let's face this for now. Leave Nigeria for now. Leave APC for now, Jare. Let us talk about this Osime. Whoa, Baba, see, this Nigeria, leave Nigeria for now, Jare. I just want to talk about Lukman. What? No, I don't want to talk about that, man. Let's talk about the real thing. Baba, I mean, let us be patriotic. You should be patriotic now, eh? At least, some of them even came to come and talk to me to be patriotic about Nigeria. When the criminals who are destroying Nigeria are the most unpatriotic element you would ever see in your life. There are those who are supposed to give you 24 hours electricity, especially in the last 24 years. The money ended in the pocket of some of them, right? And that's why you don't have electricity. Today, you have the brain drain in the, in different sectors in Nigeria. Health sector in particular. Thousands of people, professionals, who were supposed to be offering their services to the poor population in Nigeria, they've left since the system continued to destroy and undervalue them. And thank you very much, by the way. There are people who are doing that. Where you are supposed to have 21st century rail system. We are talking about fast trains that circles Nigeria in just few hours. In 21st century, there were people who were supposed to give you that. The money was gone. It's gone. Now look at the area of security where you can no longer even sit and run your business anymore. There are those who are supposed to be patriotic. It's their job. But you are seeing what they are doing. But now me no be patriotic. Because I am not shouting up Nigeria, up NEPA. It is called reverse psychology. To make you begin to feel like, oh, am I a bad person? No, you are not bad. You are reacting to their bad, their bad behaviors. that has cost the people their lives, their businesses, their health. You are reacting, and when you react, they want to gaslight you, then use reverse psychology on you until you stop saying something or even doing something. That's what they are doing right now. Everywhere you go now, they are trying to make you feel guilty of reacting to all these things happening in Nigeria. Okay? They do not want you to make it, to talk about them. If it is about kidnapping, but they never kidnap you now, so why are you so angry? Why do you hate your country? Do you know they use that on you a lot? They say, why do you hate Nigeria so much? Baba, you have never been in charge of taking any decision. You are the victim of that system. They are ripping us off every day. They are ripping everyone off. Taxes here and there. Devaluation here and there. But there is absolute nothing to show for it. But you cannot react. You cannot curse them and get angry. You can get angry about our politician. You should not get angry about Nigeria. Baba, you dey crazy, ni? You dey beat pikin. Can't they tell him how to cry? You dey mad, ni? Do you understand that? Like that control. Don't talk bad about Nigeria. Don't tell anyone how to talk. When everybody gets so upset enough, if yours is that you are so angry of what they have done to Nigeria and your own fight is to get at them, your own reason of fighting them is because of what they have done to Nigeria, be great. If others feels like it is what they have done to their regions, that is why they are fighting, and they are fighting that they want them gone. Once everybody have one or two reasons why they must be gone, then we'll have an army, a coordinated one that can never be gaslighted, that can never be, that will never fall for their reverse psychology. If you curse them, you are only reacting to their failure. Don't let anybody gaslight you and say, don't say that, don't curse. The reason is this: your wishes, your curses, and all of that, they are not the reason why Nigeria is going down. Every day, when we curse them and curse them and curse them, it all come back to us. We should be praying. Don't fall for that. Don't. Do not let them gaslight you, make you feel like because you they curse. Your curses are not doing anything. Your curses did not make them loot money, all right, and go straight to the public and go naked and begin to blow, the money, like billions of naira that they steal. The way you they curse them, let's assume it's working. You would have seen many governors, their wives, their children, many commissioners, senators, all of them that are stealing money. Once they steal the money, you just see them on the streets. They will be in bag of money that they just stole. They will be, because they don't run mad. If curses they work, no be so. Don't let anybody tell you that because you are cursing them. That's why Nigeria is not working. Now lie you. Your curses did not stop them from using stolen money to buy properties abroad. Your curses did not make them, when they looted the money, can't abandon them in public. They don't know where they left it because you don't curse them. Sure you get? It's because of your curses. Now you don't curse this one. Now you don't go drop 10 billion that he wanted to steal. The 10 billion he stole and he couldn't spend it now because have you ever seen anything like that? Don't let anybody use that on you anymore. Because your curses, they are your reactions. One day, soon, you will go beyond just cursing them. You will go after them. Do you understand? Do not pray for them. Do not let anybody tell you it's because you are cursing them. That is why Naira is falling. It's because these guys are stealing your money and they are having good life. These guys are buying private jets. They are buying everything everywhere. You're stealing money. Your country is going down. People are dying and the money is flying everywhere. So that is on reverse psychology. Okay? You must never, ever fall for that trickery anymore. Speak your mind and mean it. It's very, very important. Okay? And when they tell you there is power in words, that is true. You know why there is power in words? When you say something, like I have been talking all this while, I may be here for the next 3 hours, talking and sharing and updating and doing all I do better. But there are things that I'm going to say that are going to remain with a lot of you. Few things. Mayegun, you said, and I've been thinking about that. That is the power in a word. So when you talk, okay, and you choose your word carefully, right? Eventually the right audience will see the power in those words. And those words, when they come out, it seems that authority follows them because they remain there in your conscious and subconsciousness. You know that? That is the power in the word. And I believe more in that. You see, when you say something and you think deeper about them and you believe in them, they open doors for other discoveries. Yes. And you begin to even know more and more and more. And the more you know, in this case, the angrier you become. In order not to waste such positive energy that could be channeled, if well channeled, that could be channeled into actually breaking free from these criminals. Trust me, I have seen it happen. It is the hardest job for people to believe in what they say, not just say or just saying them. That is the power in the word. Right? So yeah, we have seen what they are up to. And there is no amount of propaganda that can actually legitimize Thiefnubu and his 47+1 thieves. It is what they are doing that is affecting Nigeria. Okay? And since Nigeria is a crime scene, when you look into the mirror and what you see there is the reflection of you, right? Mind you, you see the rogues that are depleting Nigeria, the canker worms, they call them, the leeches. They are cut across every nook and cranny of Nigeria, as you know. Ladies and gentlemen, for those who actually kind of picked that too, you will realize that for those of you who have, in fact, hang on, there's something I'm actually going to share with you just before we continue. Here is one. Don't go anywhere.
3,000. He said that one is sure for you. Any oxygen or oxygen me moruko were. O ko le buruku ti gbogbo yin pe. Any be ba ti yoku nkan derun. Igbe yoku ologude. Bag is 7,000. Ẹ̀wà ò fẹ́ ṣe rà. Gàrí ò ṣe rà. Ẹ alátìmọ̀tá dáadáa. Kò ní yẹ ìkàyẹ pátàdì yín. Kí ló dé? Ayé la sìyà ni. Àbá sí olórí yẹn. Àbíjọba la sì yẹn. Ṣàánú mẹ̀kúnnù. À ń fetí gbọ́ owó ìyá dẹ̀ jẹ wá. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin custom. Ẹjọ́ bá mi tap. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin custom. Tẹ́ ń gba dúkìá. Tẹ́ ń gba rẹ́sì. Ẹ ní kú re. Ẹ rà rẹ̀ kú ni. Ẹ̀yin custom. Mi sọ́ọ̀rì láti sọ. Bí wọ́n bá lẹ́yìn ní sẹ́ẹ̀rú, ó yẹ kí èèyàn fi tọmọ jẹ. Ẹ ń fi ìṣòro kún ṣòro mẹ̀kúnnù. Ẹ̀yin custom, ẹ ń fi wàhálà kú wàhálà wa, ẹ ń fi yà kú yà wa, ẹ rà rẹ̀ parí ayé yín ni. Ètò bá dé èpè lọ́ba dé. Èpè gidi lọ́ba dé. Àwọn àtúndì àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n tún comment báwọn gbé rẹ́ẹ̀sì láti Ìbàdàn kọjá wá sí Ọ̀ṣun ẹ̀yin custom tó ń dá wọn lọ́nà ẹ̀yin gba rẹ́ẹ̀sì ẹ̀ parẹ́ ni. Àgbẹ̀rìkọ́lá ọlá àyà tí Nàìjíríà fi ń jẹ wá. Èló ni wọ́n ń ta báàgì rẹ́ẹ̀sì ní Ṣakí? Ṣé báyọ̀ state ní Ṣakí? Èló ni báàgì rẹ́ẹ̀sì ní Ṣakí? Ṣé báyọ̀ ní Ṣakí? Èló báàgì rẹ́ẹ̀sì ní Ìbàdàn? Ṣé báyọ̀ ní Ìbàdàn? Ẹni ọba tó wà lọ rà ní Ṣakí tí ń gbé bọ̀ Ìbàdàn ẹ̀yin custom ẹ̀ tún lọ dá wọn lọ́rùn ẹ̀ parẹ́ ni. Ẹ alátìbọ̀tán dáadáa. Kò sí àdúrà lẹ́nu ọmọ Nàìjíríà fẹ́ni kankan nu gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá ní wá lára mọ́. Ẹ pé ó ti jẹ́ mọ́ ká lọ wọ́ olúgbòǹ báyìí. Ẹ̀yin abálẹ̀sẹ̀ ẹ̀yin babaláwo ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ti kàn yín. Àwọn olúgbòǹ ẹ kó bóde. Àkàbá àgádágodo. Kí ló dé? Alifitinatuna yiman la'ana Allah mana ikasa. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu wallahi tẹ́ bá wá tún ṣẹṣẹ ṣé tí ń bẹ́lẹ̀ yìí èpin mẹ̀kúnnù ni ó pa yín. Èmi kọ̀mándì gbogbo ẹbí mi gbogbo àwọn ọmọ kéwù mi gbogbo olólùfẹ́ mi APC ní ká tẹ̀fún adẹ̀tẹ̀fún yín. Àwọn olókoòwò gẹ́gẹ́ wọ́n rà rẹ̀. Àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ìjọba ń sunkún. Ká má sun àwọn àfáà tó jẹ́ pé ẹ̀yin iná lẹ́ san sálárì wa. Ṣé nígbà tẹni tí ó san sálárì àfáà tí ò sí tí ì san? Ṣé wà lóde? Àtúwọ́ ara yìí custom kan tẹ̀ ní láti bọ̀ tẹ́rẹ́. Ẹ tún wá kọjá lọ sílùú Ìbàdàn lọ́yọ̀ state. Ẹni ẹlẹ́ni tó gbìyànjú. Ọmọ tó sọ ní kẹ́ tàbí wà bá ń ka èbó yóò. Ẹ wo ọmọ tó sọ ní kẹ́ ó lóun àtọmọ àwọn ọ̀jẹ̀ kankan lánàá. Èpè lọ́rọ̀ yìí jẹ́ mẹ́ báyìí. Wàláì Rabbul Kaaba. Ó ti jẹ́ mẹ́ ká lọ wọ olúgbòhùn. Èpè àfọ̀ṣẹ́ àkàbá àgádágodo. Ẹ fọ̀rọ̀ ọmọdé àfọ̀ sílẹ̀ o. Ọ̀rọ̀ pásítọ̀ kan lọ́rọ̀ etí ń bẹ lẹ́yìn o. Kí ló dé? Ẹ wá kú ọrùn wa báyìí. Ẹ rà rẹ̀ kú ní gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń dà wá láàmú ní Nàìjíríà.
I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I have been laughing and laughing and laughing. And to those, to my viewers who don't understand Yoruba, okay, In fact, the least I can do is just to tell you what is sort of saying. He's actually cursing them, okay, that they would die as unfortunate people. He said he, as a Muslim cleric, Afa, okay, things are really becoming tougher and tougher, and that he, as an Afa, plus his own Islamic students, all right, as Islamic teacher, he ordered them to vote for Thiefnubu and APC, okay? And now, Nigeria custom, every now and then, they will be arresting people with bag of rice from Shaki town to Ibadan. These two places are inside the same states. How can the custom be arresting people? So he's so angry. Let's say they don't collect, rice from Afar or people we know Afar. So Afar is very angry. Like, with the cost of rice today, custom is taking people's rice. Is this what they all voted for? He told his family and all his students to vote for APC. Wow, yeah, you will die wretchedly. You will die brutally. All of you will be destroyed. In fact, you will be ruined. And he was calling on other Nigerians that the situation has gone beyond anybody's control now. That every day you should be cursing and cursing and cursing these people. I told you earlier, just do it to make yourself feel better. No be your curses, they affect them all. The day you all have to march on the streets and they begin to run away, once they begin to jump into their private jets, flying to God knows where. But if you are able to hold the day, that day is the day you will know that there is something that works faster than curses. Okay? When you are dealing with public officials who are career criminals. So I was telling you about propaganda. I said, there is no amount of distraction or propaganda or gaslighting that is going to really work on people anymore. Especially those of you that should stay awake, stay woke. APC, is a weapon fashioned against you. Remember that song, go, no weapon fashioned against you shall prosper because you know God. Abi? No weapon. Baba, APC is the weapon fashioned against you. And your this war is not carnal. I mean, I always get that confused, right? So if I say the war is carnal, does that mean that it's spiritual, Abi? If I say it's not carnal, that means it's physical, Abi. I'll come back to that. Please enlighten me. I used to mix them up because carnal is sacred, Abi, holy and Holy Spirit. And all of that stuff, Anyway, a lot of people feels like it is karma. So Afa is now saying, listen, this is no issue of me being Afa. Don't tell me that I am Afa. Okay? This is not being pastor or about issue of being pastor. In fact, we need to call on the traditionalists to bring out the Olugbon. So Olugbon, and a conjunction. Olugbon. That is when I say, talk and do. That kind of thing. I can just be like, oh yeah, all of you watching me right now. As you are hearing this, my voice, oh yeah, sleep. And from nowhere, all of you will begin to yawn. That kind of command and control. So we have them in Yoruba land, all right? And the Yoruba Nollywood, all right, also helped us to master that, but I haven't really seen it physically per se. You know what I mean? So Afa is now saying the situation has gone beyond anyone's control. This is not pastor, this is not Christian, Muslim, anything. We need to consult the traditionalists to bring out their padlock, bring out everything. It's time to actually attack these people spiritually. Touch and go, touch and follow. You remember those days that your girlfriend will cheat on you and then she will be like, I did not know how I got into the room. He just used command and control on me. Hi. I don't know about this generation, but I remember that time where they would say, you didn't know, just touch her like that with a ring and all that command. I was hey, follow me. Oh yeah, take off your clothes and all that stuff, right? All those tricky nonsense at the time. It's okay. I don't know that one. No. Anyway, Sharafa is like a living victim, like somebody who went all out for APC, and in 9 months, Afa is costing them. They cannot afford food. Afa even said, these are the people paying the salary of Afa. In Nigeria, you go to the Afa to go and check if you are going to be all right or if there are some enemies after you and all of that thing that you need or after your family. So when you go there regularly, because you get money, so you give Afa something and Afa will pray for you and everything. Even church and all that, they give you give them money and they pray for you and all that. Even Babalawo. But everybody look to affecting, see. The same way people where they sell fish are complaining that they are not selling, their customer is too expensive and all that. It's the same thing with the Babalawo, the Mama Lawos, the brother Lawos, the auntie Lawos, uncle Lawos, and the rest of them like that. Ask them. This shege is affecting every one of them. And that is why Afa is costing them. So I was telling you about propaganda. You can use propaganda to possibly get to power, rig election, do all of that, state capture. You cannot use propaganda to run a country. And you cannot use use distraction to get everyone busy. It's not going to happen. Now, adding gaslighting as well as reverse psychology, that is even going to make it worse. Do not listen to them because they don't mean well for you. When they will add, the Greek minister, why are Nigerians hungry and food expensive and all that? At least for the first time, this one said, Buhari never have any plan for this, planting season or harvest season in 2023. They don't care about you. But listen, so which means this shege, he just they put on the tie. He never wear shoe.
In some cases. Partly, like other speakers have mentioned, we have been challenged over a period of quite some time since COVID. COVID has an impact on agriculture, like in all other sectors. At the same time, if you remember the flooding of 2021, 2022, and also the Naira redesign of 2022-2023. Just at the point of harvest in 2022, government came out with a policy of change of Naira, and that really impacted on the availability of cash. In 2023 early, farmers, when they were just preparing for planting in 2023, had no cash whatsoever anywhere. And access to capital for farmers is very key, and there was no access for farmers. And in addition, an exiting government, I don't want to say this much, but an exiting government did not plan to do the cultivation, wet season cultivation for 2023. I don't think there was any impact or any direct intervention by government against the 2023 cultivation. And that also impacted on the quantum of harvest that we had in 2023. We have not had any harvest since the one in 2023 up till now. But we have had two programs. One is the wheat program that we have done
in which Jiga has impacted a lot, and all 14 other states. But the rise, second phase of rise that we just...
I mean, if I am living in a country with shattered economy like that of Nigeria, and I am there, I mean, I have to listen to guys like this on what they are doing, I will be depressed. You understand? I will be depressed because I know the situation is hopeless. And as for just all talk, no action, that's exactly what that guy represents. And this is what they are doing. And this is what they wake up every day to try and do. Oh, what can we do? Can we get grains from, or can we just start a farm from so and so? The insecurity, which is the primary reason why food production, cultivation in Nigeria completely dwindled, is gaining more strength and strength. The industry, we are talking about the terrorism industry in Nigeria, is growing bigger and bigger and bigger. So how do you expect people to go to the farms when the farm is not safe? How do you expect your investment in the agriculture to yield when your farmers are being slaughtered, if you would ever see any farm at all? But yeah, we are working on, we are called Jigawa and 14 other states. That's it. What are they doing in 14 other states? Can you see them fact for fact? Absolute zilch. But they will take pictures of some farms for you and say, this is the one in Jigawa, that is the one in Taraba, that is the one in Kiniko. They know you will likely not, you will probably never go there. Well, their case is like that of a son, a farmer's son. A man has his son, they were working on their farm, on his farm, okay? He's helping his father. So as they were walking, the son shouted, Papa, Papa, I have found a snail. And the father looked back and said, oh, lucky you. Keep it. We will use it to appease your creator when we get home. Say, okay, Baba. They continued walking. Again, the son shouted, I found another snail. And the father was like, oh, it must be your lucky day. He said, oh, this one is even bigger. And the father said, just keep it well. Don't let it crawl away. We will use it to appease your creator when we get home. Finally, towards evening, the son shouted again, Papa, I have seen the biggest of the biggest snail ever. And the father said, I told you, that today must be your day. Just keep it close. We will use that not only to appease your God, appease your creator. We will also use it to seek for good fortune, long life, good health, and all that in your life. So when they got home, the father said, my son, could you please bring that your biggest snail? Let me pray for you. And the son returned and he said, I was just playing, I was just kind of, I was only playing, sort of. I was only saying that to deceive you. And the father turned back and said, oh, look at you. You did not deceive me. You deceived your creator. Uriarai Lunton. That's exactly what APC is. They can tell you all the good things and make you feel like something is coming. But when you listen closely and carefully, you will realize that there's absolutely nothing going on. Where you plant, there is time to cultivate and plant, Abby. There is also time to harvest. When you ask them in few months' time, what happened to those Jigawa and 14 other states projects? What did you grow? And what impact is that going to have on us? They will give you another story. Like Oshio. with shame on channels. Who should you blame for all of this? Or who should you hold responsible? They said you should go and look for the lifeless god of Daura, Buhari. But listen.
You sat in some of those meetings to mediate between the federal government and Labour. And there are agreements that are made. And Labour is giving the federal government a 14-day ultimatum to fulfill some. Because according to Labour, the federal government has not been faithful to the promises made. To those,
which of those promises?
Yeah, there are 15 line items in the agreement that the federal government made with Labour, upon which they said things were going to be done. And that's what the Labour is asking the federal government to do. Some of which include the grant of a wage award of 35,000 naira to federal government workers, a minimum wage committee, which we've seen is setting up, the federal government to suspend collection of value-added tax. There are 15 items. The Labour is saying that the federal government has not been truthful in accomplishing those agreements.
Do you know my honest view about this? Because like I said, Labour is my constituency. Without Labour, nobody will know that Oshimole exists. So nothing and absolutely nothing will change me from who I am. I have support, and I said this on the floor of the Senate last Tuesday. Yes, the federal government approved 35,000 naira increase on top of current wage levels. And I said, I am unable to understand why any Nigeria state governor or government is not implementing that agreement. So I don't even agree with you that it was for federal employees. Federal employees don't have different market from state employees. And the struggle that was mobilized, the workers of Nigeria were mobilized, both private and public sector, in what we call a general strike. Before that, 35,000 was awarded. By implication, therefore, all state governments, all local governments, all private sector employers, and of course, all federal government employees should implement it. I don't think NSC business is to lament it. They should fight for the implementation of their right. Any government that refuses to implement the 35,000 is not entitled to peace. I mean, this is my view.
But
and I don't think
in the
NSC
agreement, it was a federal government it was a federal government workers. It was the agreement was for federal government workers.
Why were state government participating in the strike?
So, but the question is, when they sat down to make those agreements. It was called a general strike.
It wasn't called a national. If it was the federal government employees, then the negotiation should have been between the federal government and this federal civil service union. When NSC negotiate on behalf of all workers, whether federal, state, local government, and private sector. If it is purely federal affairs, there is Federal Civil Service Union. If it is purely private sector affair, you have a Nigerian Employers Consultative Association that will have a meeting with the NLC. But when NLC engaged the federal government, and I know that state governments were represented in those meetings, the agreement reached, in my opinion, ought to apply, ought to have national application. So including you in China, you should increase your pay by at least 35,000. Every employer in Nigeria, that is my understanding. Because there is no disputing the fact that whereas the subsidy has triggered increase in prices, there is no denying the fact that as a consequence, the revenue in nominal terms accrued to states, federal and state government has also doubled. Some might say it has tripled. Because if at the time of negotiation it was 500 naira, and the exchange rate is now 1,000, whatever, 200, 300, 400, it means that what is available to the federation account for distribution has also quadrupled. So why will you keep workers' wages fixed? I don't agree with that.
So you support Labour on this one?
If the federal government refuses to pay their own agreement, what do they expect? No, when it comes to these issues, my conscience tells me where I stand. Because I can't survive on my own pay. My cook can't survive on his own pay. He has to go home and come back. I mean, we are not living in the moon. So, but my problem with the NLC is apply your tools selectively. When I was president of the NLC, we have agreement.
If the federal government is not implementing, we target the federal government. If a particular state government is not implementing, we limit our action to that particular state government. It is not that if one state government is defaulting.
Sorry, that will take you a bit more to get to the part I actually wanted to share. It was the part where it was told about your political party promised to take care of all these things. But now, here we are. And just same way he put Shewin in the picture, right? This is the right one. Let's listen, sorry.
The scenario playing out is that when people are at the helm of affairs, there is a possibility that they are detached from the feelings and the pains of the average person. Yes, I mean, any reasonable person will know that the economy was in a dire strait. And things were really very terrible when this government got into power. And any reasonable person will also know that this Bola Tinubu administration needs to be given time to be able to fix things. However, things were so bad that people are suffering adversely. And that adverse effect of the sufferings and the hardship is touching the bottom line, so much that if we are not careful, people may not be able to feed. And so the question of how long it will take, because you are one of those who were vigorously campaigning for the Bola Tinubu presidency. And now that we are here, 7 months down the line, the question will be how much more can we wait? Or how much more can the people who are suffering suffer?
Well, I think you are contradicting yourself with due respect when you say, how did you put it? Something like info and whatever. This is not a football match that is built for 90 minutes with the possibility of extra time of 30 minutes. And if there is no solution, you go for penalty shootout. You are dealing with an economy that, in all facets, has had its own challenges. Job creation, unstable currency, leakages here and there, etc., etc. Now, as to the question about whether leaders are in touch with the people, with the reality, if they were not in touch, all the talk you heard about reviewing minimum wage, some debate as to how do we deal with food prices in the short run. Should we resort back to importation? Should we insist that we incentivize our farmers and get them back to the farm and give them all the incentive they need to produce the food that we need? All of that doesn't suggest that the leadership is not at home, is not aware of the challenge that we face. I think the president is very much aware. All of us are very much aware. I am very much aware. This last week on the floor of the Senate, we debated these issues. We debated the issue of security. We debated the issue of high cost of living. And we debated the fact that we are not here to lament it. We are here to teach two solutions and fix it. Now, if you ask me how long it's going to take, I will tell you no. It's not I'm not in a position to prescribe time. But there's something.
Nuisance, Lele.
Oshio that he only said all of that, but he had no time, he had no answer. And indeed, he probably doesn't have that. He's not in the position you would say, Abi. So, ladies and gentlemen, the shege that you are facing under APC, Egbekegbe, as you are watching this video, is going to last for another 7 and 3 months, 7 years and 3 months. Okay, so because, like I have told you many times, if you don't stop them, they will run their full course. And when they are done, baba, I don't know if there will be anyone left anyway to be able to actually pull any fight from that rank anymore. So, to those who probably are genuine in rebuffing and then rejecting APC, Egbekegbe, from the time immemorial, like you've always been on that side, keep staying there, because there are more and more and more people that are coming to your side. We just don't really know if they will all be genuine or not. But with the level of what they are unleashing on you, I can bet my left yansh again. all right, that they would have to be genuine. Onga doesn't speak, Onga speaks just one language and everybody understands it. And it doesn't matter if you are like from here, there, or there, or there. You know what I mean? And with these guys, with all of the excuses and the what have you, you should probably brace up. Either brace up to let it out last for the next 7 more years. Because if you are waiting for election, you probably are still dreaming. Now, talking about election, by the way, you remember Lamidiot, Apampas, and then Arabambi, that rogue, yeah? And they are like Labour Party guys, all right? And Arabambi is back. This time around, as usual, is up with another allegation. It is the fact that the Nigerian media actually, have time to hand their microphone in front of him to listen to him, and also, well, that would be on their part. I don't have to. There's something I wanted to say. I don't have to, so I'll leave it at that. Now, his accusation this time around is weighty. It didn't really present anything other than just the accusation. I want it to be on record so that when we start seeing the follow-up, okay, we can know where it all started from. Arabambi said 2-point-something billion naira was raised for Peter Obi's presidential election. And according to him, the money is in their Labour Party chairman's hand. I know it's ridiculous, Abi. I know. But for the record, I'll let you listen to him. Oh yeah, say your mind.
There have been complaints all over Nigeria about terrorism. And we are also calling on the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Economic and Financial Crime Commission, the Director General of Police, and the DSS, that Abure is also using our bank account to fund terrorism. Because of late, Mr. Peter Obi has been trying to unify the party. Mr. Peter Obi has been, on top of the situation to unify the party. But Abure kept all these things to himself. The Fidelity bank account, 41,500, 52,398. Zenith Bank, 1213, 704059 should be investigated by the authorities. This is where foreign donors donated money for Labour Party, which they are now using to fund the stabilization project of Nigeria, to cause violent overthrow of civil administration, and also to fund terrorism. I repeat, Fidelity Bank, 41,500, 52,398. Zenith, 1213, 704059. These are the accounts that Abure is using to fund terrorism, and that must be investigated. And we're also calling on Mrs. Olushi Okwara, the treasurer of the Abure faction, to provide detail of this account. We beg her to provide it to Nigerians. All of you will be shocked at the manner of people Abure transfer money to. And what exactly is that money meant for? Were they received for? Do they bid for any contract? Because where you are transferring 100 million to an individual, what for? They were just trying to do that to destabilize Nigeria. That is function Abure. Because I don't see anything why a president candidate that is having issue with a faction and trying to say, okay, let us come together. You, Abure, will now say, no, you don't want any peace in the party. It was because it's profiteering. So we are going to exonerate Mr. Obi from all this. He is not part and parcel, but Abure and Ojukwu, Clement Ojukwu, they are the brain, behind it for funding. So I will also plead for the police to protect that woman, Olushi Okwara, because once this press statement is out, she might be silenced. Because we knew what is going on between them now. She's ready to provide information to Nigerians. so that at least we can have peace and stability in Nigeria. On the issue affecting Nigerians, it will not be good for us to just keep our mouth shut and fail unconcerned about the plight of other Nigerians, even including the speaker here. And thus, I want to address you today on those critical issues facing our nation as the Nigerian Public Secretary of Labour Party. Nigeria is confronted with pressing challenges, notably the looming specter of hunger and recent revelations like the AFCC disclosure about financial misappropriation, and if not properly managed, could escalate to what we don't imagine. Hunger is on the land, we all know. Recent revelations, such as AFCC declaring Mrs. Emefiele and 3 others wanted for allegedly conspiring with Mrs. Emefiele concerning whose sum of money belongs to the federal government is condemnable. And one other disclosure also about a former deputy governor of Central Bank, who we were told took $300 million of Nigerian money to buy shares for some person in Polaris Bank, Titan Bank, and Union Bank. We are aware that the DSL was interested and other issue in how the money was raised by the Titan Bank to acquire Union Bank, which has become effected. Also, some churches were accused by the CBN private investigator, Mr. Jim Obaze, of sponsoring ring terrorism to the tune of 30 billion. Are we going to continue like this? The former Accountant General, who was accused of stealing 100 billion.
Nuisance Lele. Nuisance Lele.
Do you see what Nigeria has become? I just kept shaking my head listening to that moron, that weary. The guy just came out to accuse Abure of sponsoring destabilization in Nigeria. Do you not think that's exactly what he just did there? That Abure collected money, donations from abroad for Labour Party presidential campaign. Then he quickly said, Peter Obi is not part of it. Peter Obi is trying to unite them and all of that. Then he said, if we want stability in Nigeria, if Nigeria wants stability, they must investigate the money inside Fidelity Bank. What bank did he call? Notice pé àwọn wèrè tí wá take over Nigeria finally by. Is it? I mean, in Nigeria didn't. He called a press conference, dropped a weighty allegation. And just like everything else that said, go on. That's why I wanted you to see it. You see all that jargons that he wrote to start reading like he's doing a press conference. No, you don't need to listen to all of that nonsense. There's a part where he finally said the money that is being used to fund terrorism. He actually said they use party money to fund terrorism with no real evidence or nothing. He's asking government to investigate what he just said. And he's going to go to bed, he's going to go to bed tonight and nothing's going to happen. Ilu yet finish, but I won't make you listen to this other part, okay? Please don't get mad yet.
There have been complaints all over Nigeria. It's not to one Nigerian. Therefore, President Bola Tinubu, why not solely responsible, bear the duty of finding lasting solution? During Obasanjo, over 16 billion was spent on electricity and power, but nothing, $16 billion, but nothing was had. Who collected the money? During the same administration, 300 billion was spent to do turnaround maintenance for a refinery that are still on their ground zero. Those who collected government money and failed to execute the project need to be executed, because Nigeria needs to stop corruption, and there is nothing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu cannot do to stop the uprising, because people are hungry, not because of a fault of his own, but he doesn't have a choice. He's the president, and he must stand up to the occasion. President Tinubu should order that any kidnapper or corrupt person arrested need to be executed. Kidnappers who are raping school children, threatening to marry them off, are criminals, and they are not supposed to be put in any police cell. The current administration must address the management of funds in the previous administration, exemplified by their left financial improprieties. Swift legal action are essential, reflecting a commitment to justice and deterring future occurrences. If anyone engages police in a gun duel, such a person should be tagged as an economic saboteur and should be killed instantly. Those caught stealing our crude oil should be bombed and killed inside such vessels, because they are economic terrorists and saboteurs. President Tinubu should know that this uprising could snowball if urgent steps are not taken, because Nigerians are hungry. We advocate decisive action against corruption, proposing capital punishment, punishable by death, for kidnappers and corrupt individuals via executive order by the president, to beef up the IGP, DSS, and AFCC power. The rising threat to citizens demand stringent measures to ensure their safety. The rising tide of corruption and kidnapping and threat to school children necessitate stringent measures. We also condemn the APC attempt to shift blame on opposition party for the recent protests against economic hardship, as the like of Kenneth Ogongo, Dele Famoroti, and Aisha Yusuf, who are parading themselves as Labour Party members and not our member. We urge representatives to effect their arrest over the statement and conduct against the Constitution, the Nigerian state, and the president. They all should be arrested for treason felony, which is punishable under the law, because any statement they made is on their own and not on behalf of Labour Party. Therefore, it is irresponsible to accuse opposition party, except Labour Party, for any misdeed of this fellow, because they are on their own and they know what to say at the right time, and they ought to know what to say at the right time or what not to say at the right time. Therefore, the ruling party must focus on addressing this issue rather than deflecting responsibility. As we know, the president is not at fault for the current trend of endemic corruption, but we believe he should be able to end the corruption. We urge President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to tackle corruption head-on, as failure to do so may lead to widespread unrest. The power to save our nation lies in his hand and that of Nigeria. He must be on the side of the people and not on the side of the oppressor. I repeat, the president must, as a matter of urgency, be on the side of Nigerians. When these executive orders are made, let us see those who will go on air to criticize the president. All of them should be arrested. Because when you are stealing Nigerian money and Nigerians are dying in droves, the president of Nigeria is the president over all Nigerians. He's not the president over few Nigerians who have correctly enriched themselves to the detriment of other Nigerians. So we are imploring the president to sign an executive order so that the IGP will now be able to carry out summary execution for any bandit that engages police in any gun duel. When kidnappers engage police in a gun duel, they don't need to arrange them in the court. All of them should be arrested and killed immediately. The Navy, the Navy, once any vessel is caught stealing.
Nuisance lele. Nuisance lele.
Schizophrenic. Àrùn ọpọlọ ni. Let me explain. at a point it was calling on, it was like not Thiefnubu. All these things going on right now is not Thiefnubu is not responsible for them, but he must do something. So when he started saying, oh, those who stole money, they should be executed, you are there like, well, I think it's making sense. Okay. If anybody engage with police, gone dwell with police, they must be executed. You're like, okay, that's any bandit caught, they must be killed. Yeah. Any people who anyone caught stealing Nigeria crude oil, they must be bombed. You are there, you are like, okay, it's like it's making some sense now. You don't sense madness, Abi. Schizophrenia, kini, but magbo. Then quickly it switched to Aisha Dele Farotimi, especially Aisha, that said Nigeria has no president and Thiefnubu is not our president. Okay, so it switched straight and it was like, they do not represent Labour Party. They are not members of Labour Party. That could be right. All right. Then it went on to be like, the president should issue executive order, arrest all of them. Wirini. So it will be like he's trying to communicate. You'll be like following and okay. No, maybe not that. That's too extreme. Okay. No. We didn't listen to Latin Kosha. Situation Nigeria now. But he actually kept saying that the uprising going around the country where people are already coming out to gather, protest here and there, that Thiefnubu must do something. Onga is everywhere. Kinikokeriko is everywhere. But the first part you listened to, did you hear where he said Abure is using the money not just to sponsor terrorism, but to also overthrow Thiefnubu by saying overthrow democratic government? Do you understand what I mean? Like, it's like, kind of like dog whistle, like, they didn't have to present any evidence. He said it's own there, right? That's madness, isn't it? Anyway, that's Arabambi idiots. Okay, so I would have possibly touched his allegation, but I know there is going to be a follow-up. I heard some of you saying go to court, but anyway, the Nigeria NLC. Now, this one I'm going to say now is actually brief. Okay, it's about Niger Republic. All right. I have no full details yet, okay, but there is already a report. All right. In case if suddenly all of you who are flying to Nigeria or flying out of Nigeria, you are expected to fly over Niger Republic, okay? But now they have declared that they do not want any airline or aircraft going to Nigeria or leaving Nigeria to pass through their airspace. They will shoot it down. So what they would do now is that airlines in Nigeria would have to go to Benin Republic, go on to Senegal and fly you around and then go to Europe. So that could be like maybe an extra 1 hour to your flight. And that could also affect the price of your flight. For those where they fly, all of us, we don't get money to fly. People like me and you. So we are not affected. So don't worry. Meanwhile, that's just about the people of Nigeria and those of you who are flying. Now, concerning the hardship in Nigeria, and what do you think should be the adequate minimum wage or living wage? Something that triggered what Oshio said about implementation of 35,000 naira minimum wage or bonus or gift and all that. Well, the NSC is now asking them for 1 million naira, by the way. I'll show you.
This 1 million naira may be relevant if the value of the Nigeria continues to depreciate. And we need to, if the inflation continues to depreciate, if it is not checked, because the demand, of labor is equally dependent on what is happening in the society. You remember that by the time we are contemplating 200,000, the exchange rate was at about 800, 900. As we talk today, the exchange rate is about 1,400 or even more. Now, those are the issues that determine the demand, and it is equally affecting the cost of living. And we had always said it that our demand will be based on cost of living index. You agree with me that today, even a bag of rice is going for about 60,000-70,000 naira or more. A bag of even corn, locally produced corn, is about 56 or more. You know, on and on. Food stuff is getting out of reach. Now, are we going to get a minimum wage that will not, you know, be enough for transportation even for 1 week? We have to factor in all these issues, and that will determine the federal government's commitment to this negotiation. It's not just that they want to give us minimum wage. The old minimum wage will be expiring by April, and ordinarily the federal government ought to have set up the committee, you know, 6 months before that time, so that negotiation would have commenced. But up to now, the federal government didn't do it until they set up, they inaugurated the committee, and the committee have not sat. So it appears we are going to work within 1 month or two to agree on a figure. And I doubt how those ones are going, especially when you look at the people that the federal government assembled, you know, as members of the committee. They looked at some of the governors that are not paying even the existing minimum wage. And even they have a minister of budget, you know, who didn't implement his minimum wage as a governor. Now, if you have these people in the government team, you know, on the issue of minimum wage, some of us are not seeing a bright future on the work of this new minimum wage committee.
You will never get anything, Ajero. I promise you. They assembled governors that didn't pay salaries, assembled other politicians to discuss Nigeria's minimum wage. Do you see the irony of it? Do you see when I tell you that the reason why you can't take them or believe anything they say, and if you probably try to believe anything they say for face value, you are going to be their victim. I will never be their victim because I am always ahead of them in a way that, you know, I can't be their victim. I can't know all of this and still play into their hands and say, oh, I'm so disappointed. Disappointed, Kenny. You know? Then secretly, they gave them 500 million naira. 500 million naira to discuss Nigeria minimum wage. And with the balance, with the promise of, we'll give you the balance of 500 million when you come up with a number. Do you understand how this whole trick and this whole effort, like fuckery, right? Really makes it, I mean, kind of will make a, you know, a sort of a comic show if it is funny. And we are talking about lives of the people here, right? So the guy is asking for 1 million naira minimum wage. You imagine they say they have to pay, people will not pay 30,000 naira minimum wage. They would have to pay 1 million. Do you even see this? Do you see any end in sight? If you are a worker watching me right now, how do you even feel about this whole thing? Are you optimistic that something they are going to, like, what exactly is the value you think your daily work is worth if they have to value it like right now? Is that 1 million a month minimum? And do you actually see these guys do that? 500,000? Do you even see them give you 100,000 naira? I don't. When Showore proposed 100,000 naira minimum wage in Nigeria, 2018, 2019, I remember a dollar then was about 350 to 400 naira or something like that, right? Even Showore himself would not propose 100,000 naira anymore. You know that anyway, you know Showore. But 1 million? Is that too much? It's not even enough. But they will tell you that is going to bankrupt Nigeria. Other billions and trillions that they have ferried away in the names of buying themselves cars, building houses, and all of that nonsense, those didn't bankrupt Nigeria. Do you see the whole cheating? Do you see the whole thing there? I know all of us, you know, those of you will be say you are among the over 100 million, 142 million Nigerians living in multi-dimensional poverty, possibly have no real job. You probably would never really understand, okay? I'm talking to those who are really working every day, but they are still so poor because the criminals in government have destroyed the value of their labor even before they get paid. Do you understand how hard that is? Anyway, I wish you what you wish yourselves. Okay, if you think the roads are so nice that they are willing to really consider what you really deserve and give that to you, they won't. You know that, Abby. Let's continue looking. See, the last few days, especially 2 days ago, it was actually like I think it was 2 days ago. How about Wigwe? The man they said is the CEO of Access Bank. It's sort of a financial prodigy, like a financial genius. All right, a philanthropist, because I've seen few of his clips. Right, I didn't know this guy until yesterday when the news of his death hit everywhere. And the reason why I was so interested is because it was that same time that the report of the killing of the driver of a transportation company in Nigeria. The driver was killed, the passengers were kidnapped, and a little girl was left behind. And I didn't really see rage or emotion or anything anywhere because people are so used to that. All right. And what that did to me was that, man, as much as this tragedy of the death of this bank CEO guy, right, is probably irreplaceable, especially to those he's been able to actually impact on their lives, which are so many. I have seen a lot of people saying a lot of good things about him. But it took over the whole airspace, everywhere, everybody, everyone. And nobody really care if some people got kidnapped from a bus or a little girl was left behind and the driver was killed. And a few other things like that. You know what I mean? Like, I am not trying to be like a gatekeeper of how people should react to things. So I am just an observer. Okay? That is trying to be observant and telling majority of you here today that if you did not believe that the life of the average majority of Nigerians remains just statistics in the book of those who claimed to be your leaders in Nigeria. And it is also similar even to the populace too. We are all just like random people, statistics. And if they come here and they kill a lot of us, all they have to do is just manufacture a figure. They don't even have to count them. I got a report. I don't have the detail. That's why I haven't shared that with you. That over 500 people were killed in Agatu again in Benue State just last night till this morning. And that's what I mean. Statistics. Do you know how many number is 500? 500 human beings. Killed, and there is no rage. There is God will save us from these people. APC, God will punish you. 500 people. It's not like everyone is. I mean, people are going to go there and actually count them. But it's because there's too many people have been killed. They just use the random figure and say 510, 500, 320. And 320 is like individual person like that, even if a child is killed, right? A whole family have been slaughtered severally. A whole family have been kidnapped and even killed. But because they do not really have that big name, and the system has normalized that, and all of us, the oppressor, and all of us, the oppressed, mentally, psychologically, that is how we live, that's how we react. I'm telling you that if you have seen the news coverage of the death of this guy, you probably will think he's probably a minister in Nigeria or a big, you know what I mean? Like, I bet that is due to his philanthropic job, which means he's been to he's had a lot of people around him that he's been able to impact, no doubt. But the tragedy too is that he died. I think his a child also died. His wife, I think there are 2 children died. The wife and again, listen to this. So when the reports came out, they mentioned his name. They listed his wife. They listed their kids who died in there, right? And they said the pilot and maybe 6 others or 4 others. Those others are now others. Me and you can be like others to the rest of the world because we do not really matter. But in America, here in the UK, if any soul, any life is lost, trust me, you will get to know the name of the soul if more are lost, and it becomes a national thing in their country. Even those of you who are not in America, you begin to get to mention some of you actually know some names of those killed by the American police in America. The blacks killed, the whites killed. Some of you are kind of really, really detailed about them. Abi, well, if I ask you, do you know the names of those children killed in Mangu on the 24th of December 2023? Do you know any name? You don't. Do I know any name? I don't. And if I do not remember a lot of them. And that is how we are programmed. But when you wear one name, you don't even have to know them, and you just have to feel the empathy. You just have to feel the humanity and say, oh my God, damn. Huh? How could somebody like that just die? How could the plane crash? Oh my God, the children. A whole family. Oh, that's your humanity there. And it is normal, it's okay. But it is selective. We select how we empathize. We are in a society whereby if your second name doesn't really ring bell, if Fulani cut off your head, they will say 3 people killed. One of them, they cut off one head. That's it. And you don't really have to be rich. You don't have to be a billionaire. You don't have to be a politician. Before you are moved from statistics to citizen. Citizenship means every one of us like that is what? Is registered into the system. And if any of us should die, they must explain what killed us. Nigeria has no citizenship. You and I have no citizenship. Okay? If I tell you who is a Nigerian now, how do you become a Nigerian? You can only give me your own meaning. Somebody else will give you their own meaning. And maybe you begin to argue, no, it's a lie. You cannot be denaturalized. No. You can't say that because there is no real pathway that is really clear to citizenship. And because there is none of us is treated as a citizen. We are treated as a subject. You know that? Subjects are those who are like, sit down, stand up. Don't look at your leader like that. Don't talk like that. Oh yeah, arrest him. Oh yeah, kill them. All of you, fire them. I will kill you. Nothing will happen. I will kill your village. Nothing will happen. Because you have no citizenship. Think about that. So yeah, this guy happened to be a good guy from what I heard. And in one of the clips I found online, it was one of the places where he was meeting his own kinsmen, like kindred, right? Speaking to his own community people and telling them that he has the capacity to build them a very, very good university institution in that place. Bring bring development. He needed their support. I don't know if he's been able to start the building of that before this happened. Oh, Baba, there's another thing I want to also pick out. Immediately after the crash, America will always be America. Advanced countries will always be advanced countries. If this guy crashed in Nigeria, now conspiracy theories could kill everybody for Niger. Within 24 hours, the responsible body in America decided to give their first preliminary report on what really happened. Okay? But yeah, how about Wigwe? the guy.
I just want to thank all of you, my brothers here. I want to thank all of you, starting with our chairman, Ishi, for what you people are doing here in Sokoto. For everybody waiting here, this now on a project. We're going to go protect them with anything we want to get. No university will go there like this. No be for Nigeria, for Africa. On my life, on my children, nothing to compare to this university. All of our children, Yes. Now this school they will go. We go already by next week. The remaining buildings will start. 2,000 people go to work for here. Amen. We don't want security problem. No way, no way. No security problem. No easy day. All of us get up. Anybody want to spoil them? We finish up. Yes.
It's unfortunate. This guy is not just what you saw there. I think he also has a foundation that has actually really helped their children, not just in Nigeria, even across Africa, with evidence. Okay, I'm talking about tens of thousands of children where they've been provided with healthcare, education, like scholarship and all that stuff. And that was in there in his own community. Somebody said the university is already built and is meant to be opened when this tragedy struck. I don't want to fill your mind with what you call any other conspiracy things people are saying out there, okay? I believe that the guy lived a wonderful life and this happened, okay? Accident happens and any other thing that may actually happen afterward or whatever their investigation reveals, where he's a guy that seems to lived a good life, even though he could still do more if he's still here with us, Abi. But it's unfortunate. Now, the American agency that it was going to Las Vegas, where he was to watch last night's Super Bowl. And Super Bowl is like the Champions League final, okay? It's something so huge in America. This guy is an investment banker, okay, who was able to put resources together and they bought almost a dead bank, revived it, and then moved it to the number 4th position, the 4th biggest bank in Nigeria. And from what we heard, right, himself and his own partners, they were now going beyond Nigeria, expanding their market even beyond Africa, from what I heard, right? Access. Now, which means he's not just going to America to go and watch a Super Bowl, guys. Rich guys like that will not pay $13,000 for a ticket just to go and see the game only. No. You should know it must be about business as well. But whatever it was, we will probably never be, it's probably none of our business, okay? But what really happened? How could the brand new chopper drop off the, drop off the sky and then exploded upon impact? That's what they said. But we'll hear from them directly. Listen to this.
Good evening. I'm Michael Graham, a board member with the National Transportation Safety Board. Joining me tonight is our investigator in charge, Aaron Sauer. The NTSB just recently, within about an hour ago, arrived on scene for this accident investigation. Last night at 8:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, an Airbus EC-130 helicopter departed Palm Springs, California, en route to Boulder City, Nevada. At about 10:08 p.m., the helicopter impacted the terrain south of I-15 near Halloran Springs, California. Halloran Springs is about 75 miles northeast of Barstow. 2 crew members and 4 passengers were on board and were fatally injured. Before I go any farther, on behalf of the NTSB, I'd like to express our deepest sympathies to the families and loved ones of those who lost their lives in this terrible tragedy. We have a representative from the NTSB's Transportation Disaster Assistance Division on scene with us. She is currently working with the family members of those who lost their lives and will provide support as well as investigative updates as they become available. The NTSB is an independent agency charged by Congress to investigate every civil aviation accident and significant accidents in the other transportation modes. We are on scene now to gather perishable evidence. Our team is methodically and systematically reviews all evidence and considers all potential factors to determine the probable cause. This is the beginning of a long process. We will not jump to any conclusions, and the information that I provide for you tonight is preliminary. A preliminary report will be available in a couple weeks, and however, a full NTSB investigative report and investigation will last 12 to 24 months before a final report is published. Additional details about the accident include: the crew consisted of a pilot in command and a safety pilot. The accident flight was operated by Orbic Air LLC as a Part 135 charter flight. Witness reports of the weather conditions at the time of the accident suggest rain and a wintry mix. The helicopter was not equipped with a cockpit voice recorder or a flight data recorder. This helicopter was not required to be equipped with those type of recording devices. We are aware of media reports of some downed power lines near the accident site. We will be looking into this report during our on-scene investigative phase of this investigation. The NTSB investigator in charge, as I said, is Aaron Sauer. He will be joined by Mark Ward as the deputy investigator in charge. Several other NTS investigators are on scene and will be examining the following areas: airworthiness, to include maintenance and structures of the helicopter, operations, meteorology, and air traffic control. Parties to the investigation include the FAA and Orbic Air LLC. As the investigation continues, other parties could be named. The BEA, the French Aviation Accident Investigation Agency, will serve as an accredited representative because France is the state of manufacturer of the Airbus helicopter and the turbomeca engine. Both Airbus helicopters and turbomeca engines will serve as technical advisors to the investigation. Planned activities for tomorrow will include traveling to the accident site to conduct the initial on-scene documentation, and documentation will also include aerial mapping of the wreckage with a drone and site measurements. Also, we will be working with Orbic Air to obtain flight crew records, helicopter maintenance records, and flight dispatch records. We are aware that there were several 911 calls last night to report the crash from Interstate 15, and we'd like to ask any of those people that had witnessed that if they would reach out to us with any further information they may have, such as photos or anything of that sort, and we can be reached through witness@ntsb.gov. Again, that's witness@ntsb.gov. We will provide updates as they become available. You can follow the NTSB on X, or formerly known as Twitter, at ntsb.gov. One final comment. I'd like to thank the first responders who first responded to the accident scene, and the ongoing coordination of the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department. We really appreciate all their work they're doing. I'll take a few questions here. As I do, please raise your hand, state your name and affiliation. Please go ahead.
Sean, Inland News. Was there a fire involved when the aircraft crashed after it hit the ground?
The question is, was there a fire involved when the air crash hit the ground? As far as we know, from what was reported from witnesses, that there was fire when the aircraft did contact the terrain.
The rental company, or was this a charter flight coming from Las Vegas, this Orbit Air, that these passengers rented this aircraft?
Yeah, the question is, did these passengers rent the aircraft from a charter company? Yes, they did. The charter company actually is, I guess they have an address out of Camarillo, California, but I think they base out of Burbank. We're looking into that for sure. They will be arriving to help us out as a party member. The flight was actually from Palm Springs, California to Boulder City, Nevada.
The weather conditions, you said there was a mix of rain and snow. Can you talk more about the weather conditions in the area at the time the helicopter was flying through that area?
Okay. The question is about the weather conditions at the time of the accident and where the helicopter crashed. It was reported by witnesses that there was rain with some wintry mix. We currently have a meteorologist working on our team, and we are working to analyze and get the exact weather conditions at that time. Of course, that's out in the middle of the desert, so we'll have to find the closest reporting stations nearby to be able to give any accurate information as far as the weather was at the scene.
My last question is, do you know the altitude that the helicopter was flying through the area? I mean, was it, did they experience, is it possible they experienced a mechanical problem? They were flying high and they, auto-rotated down or came down somehow, or were they flying so low that they crashed into the side of a mountain? What do we know about that?
The question is about the altitude and the flight path of the helicopter during the flight. We don't have any specific information on that right now. We are getting air traffic control data, ADS-B data. We're just starting to receive that. Hopefully we'll have more information tomorrow for you on that specifically.
And we always have to ask people, do you hate anything on?
So I decided to share that with you so that those of you who are watching me from Nigeria, whenever there is, when something happens and the agency handling that is speaking to the public, you have to tell what you know. You have to give the public something. If you are there, if you don't have anything to give the public, do not address the press. So in their case, they call it preliminary. The response and everything that has given them little information idea about the crash, the little they can work with until they have the full information. But so far so good, they've involved the aircraft, the airline, the business that owns the helicopter. They've involved the manufacturer of the, you know what I mean, possibly the insurance company there, and so many other bodies that are going to be involved in their investigation. I didn't even know they crashed into a train. That's exactly what happened. They said the weather was bad, and then the chopper, the helicopter, crashed into a train. And there was fire. But again, a lot of people have said a lot of things. If people believe that people are comparing this now with that of Kobe Bryant, right? You know, Kobe also died similarly, right? On a chartered chopper like that, and with his daughter, I believe, right? So a lot of people are believing that this is not just an accident, okay? But yeah, possibly, I'm not saying that there's no conspiracy here or there, okay? But I'll leave you to all of that, because that's actually not my forte, right? And I think that would be me. The last time I was supposed to take calls, but I couldn't because of other things going on. So I will take calls tonight to complete the rest of the evening. And if you're up for it, okay, you should like the broadcast first, okay? Show that you are here. like the broadcast, share it, and then get your phone. The number you can call is right there on your screen. And when I get back, I will take calls. Don't go anywhere. Thank you very much, everyone. For those who are still here with us, remember, you need to at least like the broadcast to show that you are here. I mean, I keep reminding you. I also have a caller on the line. I hope you are still there. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm live
Yes,
on my Enugu. Glad to speak with you once again.
Thanks so much.
You're doing a great job, no doubt about it.
Thanks,
people are complaining about the whole thing in Nigeria, protests here and there. But I think it's, I don't know what's going on. I noticed there is more protest in the northern area, northern region of the country than the southern region of the country. And it's strange because I think the southern region are always more alert when it comes to bad governance than even the NSAS. The northern region wasn't part of it. But this time around, I think there's something is cooking. I think by the time the South also wake up and so it's going to be South and the North coming out to fight the government. I think it's going to be very heavy on the. It's going to be effective.
Believe, right? Okay.
We
believe that the shege speaks just one language, and everybody understands
exactly.
So it doesn't matter where you come from
just like
now. It will touch you. And once it touches you, we are going to react differently anyway. But you are right.
Yes. Just like everybody is celebrating, everybody will have been celebrating our victory. But the only happiness Nigerians will have had, was cut short.
That was also taken
at
away
the final.
From them. I know.
Yes.
And it was just like the apple go gone.
Yeah. And the NLC that you talked about, the NLC that they are going on strike after 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And people are saying that
a month.
That's not realistic. They're just saying that just to
I
mean,
what we even ask, you, right? What do you think? We know what is not realistic, right? We all know, right?
Okay.
But they are paying them 30,000 now. They are promising them extra 5,000 to make it 35. Now, in this economy of Nigeria, right? Like you,
oh my God,
what do you think is going to be like? You know, averagely, if anybody want to propose minimum wage, if you have to propose, looking at everything,
because okay, looking at everything now, as it is now, they claim they are getting more money because of the subsidy now. So I think even the governors, most of the governors are not even paying the 30,000. So that's the problem. So I don't think even they probably Rivers State might pay 50,000.
One.
Yeah,
you get now. Like just say, okay, maybe, you know what? Then we will talk about if they will pay or not pay. Okay, you tell me. What do you think is adequate, sir?
Okay, maybe they might struggle to pay 50,000. Let's put it that way.
No, you are 50,000. Them. If I have to propose that, how much do you think they can even start with a salary in Nigeria that you can begin to say,
okay,
if they pay this, so it's a good start. So I'll say maybe 500,000 naira. That's also unrealistic.
Yes, I would say it's unrealistic. It's unrealistic because let me just say, let me say 300. I don't think 300,000. Even they cannot even pay 300,000.
As me and you.
Even 100,000 is a problem. Oh my God! Even 100,000
1 billion too, Baba. If they have to give,
Jesus Christ!
Hi, maybe 50,000. Last 50,000.
Nigeria. I don't know how. Someone was telling me that 2 pure water, just 2 pieces of pure water, is now 15 naira. And I could remember before I left Nigeria, they used to sell a bag of pure water, 60 naira, 60 naira. Then
I think
during Jonathan's regime,
around the same time, we used to sell it for 40 naira. Then it became 50. Then it became 60. That was when pure water became 5
for a long time.
And it's 20 in the bag. 20.
Now 2 pieces, 20, 2 pieces now. I don't know. There must be something these politicians are doing to our people that they cannot see that things are going haywire. I mean, there must be a voodoo. There must be a voodoo somewhere. I don't understand. There must be something because, so this guy, Darkman, said that social media is a distraction anyway. That if they take away social media, then Nigeria will rise up. That most youth are into social media. All right, no problem. Thank you. I'm going to cut now. Thank you for talking to you once again.
Calling in, okay, we will see how they do all the abracadabra. We will be here.
We will be here. We will see.
Thank you, Baba. And that's true. We will be here. We will tell you what this is going to end like. And if you don't believe, then we will be here when that begins to happen. And then we'll ask you, now, what are you going to do? Instead of you come and be like, somebody who gets sense and say, oh, talk. Let us act. What are you going to do? Hello there.
Hello, top of the evening, Mr. Mayegun, the general. This is Windy City.
The Windy City from Chicago.
2 days in a row. I'm so lucky.
I know. I mean, sometimes people pick your voice, and I just had to quickly wait. I want to say, Windy. I said, no, it's not him. It's good to have you back, sir.
It's me. Oh, yes. Well, I'm fine. Regarding the last caller, pointed to the riot in the northern part of Nigeria. I think it all boils down to what you used to say. Somebody like their oppressor differently, right? You used to say that. I don't act differently. Thank you. I think when Buhari was there, all the hula baloo was coming from the southern part. And the northern, they're sitting on the pot by the soup, by the pot of soup. They just eating.
Exactly. They were
they don't care. Name all the minister from AG, attorney J, as you call him, all the way down to the lowest of the lowest. It's all Fulani, whatever Fulani does, it's just, it's okay. So now, that is now the turns of the thieves in the south, the Yoruba, So now, you know, Yoruba, we have a yeah. So now that the paradigm has shifted now, the northern part, they now realize that you know, things are not easy. So it's better so I think this is my own conspiracy theory and I own it 100%.
With your
I
chest.
think I think what they are trying to do is probably signal to the people in the military, like, you know what, kick these guys out, man, and put some Fulani guy in there.
But you are not seeing it as the fact that you know, the hardship as it is currently, right? So their own protest, you don't see it as really genuine because the hardship didn't start now. So why now? So you don't see it as genuine, right?
Yeah, the reason why they are what they are doing right now is because they don't have the power and they are suffering. You see, it's not going to be funny when the rabbit get the gun. When the hunter has the gun and chasing the rabbit, it's all fine. When Buhari was there and they kidnapping young, old, doing everything, it's fine. Now that like I said, the paradigm has shifted. Now the rabbit got the gun, and the hunter has to run.
The hunter is now the hunted.
Yeah. So now they're feeling the impact. We are not, we don't have power. We don't have any minister to talk about. We have this Igbo guy coming from Wiki, just doing whatever like. They don't like that. So it might be, I mean, just like my own conspiracy, they are not doing it in the interest of everybody in Nigeria. They are not. They are doing it just to probably catch. We probably arise it.
Your theory is that those protests are not just protests. There are people who are currently out of power that are finding it difficult to function. So they are those fingers behind us. You kind of feel like that.
Yes, like okay. I mean, this is where I'm coming from. Let's assume like tomorrow we wake up and one Fulani guy overthrew yeah. Do you think they are not going to be rioting? They'll be celebrating. I can tell you that.
I mean, I will believe that too, because once the
they will be celebrating,
except if the person is Igbo, they will start rioting. You know that?
Oh yeah. Jesus! Yoruba will start.
The two facts can coexist, sir. In this city, you know that, right? We know that. If somebody say tomorrow and say, "Fellow Nigerians, they will start jubilation in the north." I bet that. I agree. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And at the same
they'll
time,
bring their
if the person that takes over says, "Fellow Nigerians, I am General Chukwuemeka Chinedu." Riot in my winning city, you know that, right?
The first thing they'll be looking for, what's the name of the presidential aspirant? That guy.
Obi.
They'll be he was in charge. He was the one that orchestrated that thing, without knowing the fact, without knowing everything. And guess what? If it's let's forget about Igbo. Apologies to all my Igbo friends and because they are not going to let Igbo overthrow. No, it's not going to happen. It's going to be the Fulani. Remember,
military never to be deceived into leading any coup.
Yeah.
Because you are going to give them the license to start killing all the vulnerable Igbos they can come across, including those who are even not like Igbos, but from the eastern part of, you know what I mean? Like, they will go after them. So no Igbo military man should selfishly say he wants to save Nigeria. He's joining a coup. That's just an advice. Win the city.
If it's some general Dongoyaro of Katsina or somewhere, the northern people will be jubilating while you will see the riots in the south. I can guarantee you Lagos will be. That's when Lagos will realize they are part of Yoruba.
Win the city.
Yes, sir.
Now where will they play? Will they hear the fact? I have said this and I'll keep saying it. if I wake up tomorrow morning, sir, and there is one Dongo Yaro that has overthrown government in Nigeria, I will be one of the arrowheads that will mobilize money all over the world, right? For the total breakdown of what do you call it? Any kind of
law and order, any remaining.
Badero, sir, I will travel the world to ask people that if any Dongoyaro from anywhere announce any goddamn thing, or make it break up Nigeria quick in here, sir. Honestly.
So, and regarding the labor, forget about that. I saw you and God, the other guy, haggling around. It's 500,000. They're not going to pay them shishi like if I may borrow your language. They know. They know what to do. They know the guy, the idiot guy that was talking head on the TV that was negotiating. Why would you give the? How many times? I remember on your one of your broadcasts, you actually went back, like you gave them 3 weeks. That lapses. He gave them another 3 weeks. Why will you? All you need to do is wake up, my brethren. We need to hit the streets.
That's it.
That's when I know they are serious.
They look for you. They don't go see you. They ask somebody to stop the whole thing. They don't go see you, but not lie, Baba. See, Windy City.
Yeah. So
it's such a pleasure talking to you again, eh?
Thank you very much. Keep on doing what you're doing, man. God bless you.
And you
Bye-bye.
too. You have a good one, sir. Thank you so much. That's my man, Windy City. You know where is Windy City? That is Chicago. I had to go and Google it like, Windy City. As that's Chicago. That's their name, by the way. Yeah. Hello there.
Hello, my good evening, sir.
Good evening to you, sir. How are you?
I'm okay, and you?
Very well. Thanks for asking. Please.
This is Ferdinand calling from Newcastle.
Ferdinand. Wow.
Yeah.
How are you today?
I'm good, sir. I'm good.
Grand, prof.
I've been working. I've been working for some time, so I'm actually off. That's why I decided to call.
So you chose to spend your day off with me as well. Part of it, right? Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
Bless you, Baba.
You see, I'm actually calling because of what the first speaker said, and then I'm trying to kind of compare it to what the second speaker is saying now. And if you remember, during my last call, I told you that it's unheard of Northerners protesting. They've not really been the protesting type, especially when the Southerners are protesting. Because whenever we, the Southerners, protest, they not see it as a threat to their government, especially when they have their own person in power.
That's right.
But now a Southerner is president, and the Northerners have been the ones protesting. All of a sudden, it looks as if the hardship is
like it's new.
more
It's
in
just
the north.
happening now. Like it's something that just started last June. I get you. But,
So there are two things that I'm actually looking at, because let me first say let me actually throw a little light into what the first caller said. If the Southerners will join this protest, Nigeria will come down. Like the administration of Kolu might not last long, the way I'm seeing it. Because if the Southerners should throw in their weight behind this protest that is going on in the northern states,
it will just be like the positive
it will be like, there will be an explosion. Because right now it looks as if the Southerners are quiet because it is their son, but that is not the truth.
No.
Now, if the Southerners should throw their weight, I mean both Southeast and Southwest, behind this high cost of living, it will actually give the North more energy. Yes, the boost they need. And if that happens, how many people will they arrest? How many people will DSS clamp down? Remember the last time the Northerners staged anti-protest during NSAS.
I remember.
So the DSS, they sent military to the Southerners who started shooting. Now, how many military will they deploy? Do they have enough military in the Nigerian army to deploy both to the south and to the north to curb this protest? And from there, it might spark up a revolution.
Just give me a sec, Fedi, right? I've got a short screen for a sec, okay? Just stay on the line with me, okay? Don't go anywhere. Just a moment, right? Thank you. Right. Thank you so much, Ferdinand. Okay. I just had a little bit of a disruption. So I need to quickly put that back and we can continue. Apologies to everyone as well. I don't know. My system just overheated. So sorry about that, Ferdy. Please continue.
It's okay. So now what I'm thinking now is if the Southerners should join, it will kind of like boost the Northerners, and the Kolu's administration might not really last long because he came in with a very bad policy and decision. From his inauguration speech, there was a fuel increase in fuel price. From the first day he was inaugurated, I was watching you that day. You were sharing everything. From his inaugural speech, fuel price was increased, even though they tried denying it.
They had no plan, but they remove it still.
No plan, yes. Now, comparing it with what the previous caller just said, I mean, the last caller who just left now, it might also be a signal from the North that military should take over because right now, Kolu has actually been making some statements, trying to like appeal to Nigerians and the military that they should be tolerant a little and give time that things will be normal. But the truth is that he came in with some difficult policies that hit Nigerians. Since I came back from Nigeria, I mean, people have been calling me, asking for money, and the truth is that how many people are you going to help? Nigeria is so. Friends and family are so hungry that even if you travel to Nigeria with 100 million, it won't go anywhere. 1 million naira is like 300,000 naira of 2001. You get it? So, 1 million naira is like, 300,000 naira, 3-4 years ago. So, the new Nigeria now we are seeing now is something we've not really seen before. The protest, this hardship has really hit Nigerians that they took to the streets and started protesting, especially the Northerners where that can easily be brainwashed. So this kind of thing has never really happened in the history of Nigeria before. But I'm very optimistic that one of these days,
brewing, right? It's like everything is still brewing, and they are doing everything as well to suppress it and suppress it. So the battle is between how those numbers and those people are going to connect and become a real
one. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And if the South should actually join the North, my take now, if the South should actually join the North in this protest, these bad politicians can no longer divide Nigerian youth along the line of ethnicity, religion, and tribalism. Because this will be like what will now unify the youth, both North and South will now be hunger.
Do you actually believe that?
It's the way things are going.
Like you can project that and say, well, the way things are going, right?
Yes.
The moment things get to a stage that, I get that now.
Yes, because Anafa, you played a video of Anafa who was complaining of the high cost of living.
That's right.
The thing is hitting everybody, up, left, right, and center. Whether you're Muslim, Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, Fulani, you don't buy anything cheaper than any tribe or any religion. So it's just like what P2B said during his campaign. So the high cost of living is hitting everybody, irrespective of ethnicity, religion, and party line or whatever politics. So I think right now hunger is going to kind of like unite the whole country, both North and South, especially the youths. Hunger, unemployment, and insecurity will unite everybody, and for once this revolution we've been hoping for might actually happen. And then Nigeria will split into 4 different countries. So this thing happening right now is something really new that nobody can really tell. But I'm still analyzing and looking at it. But Kolu might not finish his administration. Just mark this. He might not finish his administration.
We'll see how that pans out. Okay. What I believe is that you know what they say about if you find yourself in a hole, you should stop digging. You know that. Now, what we have seen in these criminals and their enterprise is the fact that Nigerians have been dug into a deeper hole, and these guys are not even giving up. They are digging more. They are not even filling the hole back. All their actions are not showing that there is going to be
at
any
all.
reprieve for
At
people soon.
all.
So
At
yeah,
all.
we will
At all.
get to that
If he
stage
could,
soon.
if he could actually come in within few months in power, he allocated some funds to buy new SUVs for lawmakers. Can you believe that nonsense? You and I were in the UK. How many SUVs do
And it
MPs
wasn't
and
able to buy their own locally produced
in Scotland?
cars. So, see,
in Scotland,
Ferdinand,
they are Scottish MP and all this. How many cars do they use?
they don't buy them any cars. Yeah, we don't buy cars for anybody
Right.
here anyway. So you buy a car
see
yourself, all right? But however, I'm saying, there's something I wanted to say. I just
you said they did not buy them.
They didn't buy the cars in Nigeria. They have cars in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Those billions of naira that they wanted to buy. I mean, they bought cars with, right? They send them to Japan to buy Japanese cars. Send them to Germany to buy German cars. And all over the place.
Of course, they would rather patronize Germany than patronize Innocent because he's Igbo. They won't patronize Innocent because he's Igbo. Yeah, and even if there are other local car manufacturers or dealers, they won't patronize them because they will see it like it's a way of kind of like supporting them or kind of like financing them, and that in turn they might want to use the funds against the government.
I don't even think that, Ferdinand. I don't even see that. I think they feel like they that have been driving latest. You know, these guys drive every new cars now. The cars that will come out, you see all these 2024 cars that are coming out 2024. They've already got their orders. You know that?
Yeah.
So to them, it's like a downgrade. Me, I will now be driving not. I'll be driving nonsense.
Exactly.
When they gave me money that could buy me Maybach 2024.
Exactly.
Why would I go and buy not? I don't want that job.
Exactly.
So and that's what you call patriotism, Abi. Is that patriotism?
Exactly.
Those people who are given everything, but they don't believe in Nigeria. They turn around and say Nigerians should defend dollar. Nigerians should stop asking for dollar. Nigerians should stop buying foreign things. People waiting. God damn it. Ferdinand, let me take another one. Okay?
Thank you very much, sir.
You have a very good one, okay? Thanks a lot, Baba. I'm so sorry. My line there just got cut off there because my camera was overheating because there's no enough air. But our time is also coming close to an end. We still have like half an hour to go, though. Hello there.
Hello. My good Baba.
Sir, how are you?
I'm fine. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
I know, say you know go recognize this voice.
I can try. Maybe when you keep talking, or you can save me all of that wahala and just tell me.
Okay. This is my first time calling.
Right.
That's why I say you know go recognize. I don't they follow you. God
bless you.
I say today I go must reach my go today.
Fantastic. And here you are. You and I are already talking. I love determined people. A lot of people are just like, no, he's too busy. I can't bother. But here you are. Thank you.
Even when I dare walk, once I dare walk, 8 o'clock done they reach. I done they round off everything what they do. Make I follow up.
God bless you, Baba. Thank you so much. How is everything?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm calling from Manchester.
From Manchester. That's great.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Yeah, you and I are here now, and I bet you have something to add to this too. Do you?
Yes. Honestly, the level I saw Nigeria when I traveled on December, it was very bad.
You were in Nigeria in December, were you?
Yes, I went to Nigeria. I'm from Abure State.
God bless you. Well, Abia people, the exotic guys, there's so much to probably like, you know, they said Abia people are the ones who won lottery in this their charade. But tell me, how was it when you were there?
Yeah, at least in terms of some kind of construction of road, OT is trying, but generally there is seriously hunger in the land. Honestly, and probably the way I'm predicting some things right now, if anything comes out, maybe protest or revolution in terms of hunger in Nigeria, nobody should be surprised. Nobody should be surprised, honestly.
So you actually saw that, but did you see? You know, somebody told me that you could see the deprivation you could see the depression, not depression, but kind of like the let down look on people's faces. You could see through their soul when you look into their eyes, like it's like they've given up about everything almost. But you think they still have it in them despite all this?
People are just living from hand to mouth. I must tell you. The way it is, people are just living from hand to mouth. Even in terms of the number of people, a lot of people are even looking for how to leave the country. Even when I traveled, I barely even see some of my friends. A lot of them have traveled. In fact, Nigeria is no longer the way it used to be. You can see anger in people's face. Everybody is just aggressive, and nobody is just happy. You understand? They are just managing their lives. This is how anyhow it comes out today. They just take it like that.
For the day.
Yes, they're just living for the day.
And when you tell them what do you have for tomorrow, they will say, well, Baba, when tomorrow comes, we can deal with that one, Jare. Oh, thank God for today first.
I tell you. Sometimes there is this thing I used to tell people. They used to say they voted for Tinubu, let them suffer this thing. See, in my own take in this aspect of that issue, I think nobody voted for Tinubu. Tinubu just bought INEC.
He didn't have the number to make him president, and I can see that anywhere.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Like, so when people say that, let them suffer it, let them suffer it, they voted for him, let them suffer it. The truth is that nobody voted for him. People voted for P2B. Nobody voted for. Let it not be as if people voted for Tinubu. Then now they are suffering for.
They are now suffering and complaining. We all saw what happened. You are right.
Yes.
We shouldn't make it look like everybody that is facing this in that place deserves it. That's all right.
But the man just bought a whole INEC. That's just the simple truth. He just bought the whole package. So when somebody bought the whole package, I think it's over for everything. You understand? He went and just bought the salt. So
now
I just hope
to now use the thing where him buy, taking money buy now. A couple I say not taking money buy trouble, sleepless night, and the rest of that. Because you just told me now that people are so angry that you will not be surprised if there's a protest that spring up tomorrow because of hunger, right?
No.
So
I
you
wouldn't
don't
be
take him money buy trouble now, be that all. Because he will keep giving people money, soldier, the military, the police, and all of them. But like you said, I think it was my last caller that said, it's going to break out enough that how many people would they be able to arrest, and where would they keep them if the South and the North connects on this same subject, hunger? So you do believe that if that happens in Nigeria, you will not really be surprised, you said?
Of course, I'm not. I told one of my friends, say, you see all this revolution something. This revolution is start from the South. It's going to start from the North. When North want to do something, they put their minds back and do it. You understand? It's only when the South see the North that they are very serious. They've never seen them. They are not yet serious. When they are serious, you will see the reciprocation from the South. You understand?
Right.
Get here, because if you take a look at how this enter started, what should have just ended everything was for not to started their own. If not, would have started their own end size. It would have been a game over. But they did not. They were brainwashed. You understand? So I think once North starts this thing, and Southerners see that yes, he don't set. See,
they are doing everything to brainwash anyone they can brainwash in the South right now. That he's going to bring another Northerner in. If anything happens, they are just going to be in all that stuff. They are already saying that.
Exactly. For example,
and you don't think that's going to really work on the Southern youth too?
No. Everybody is wise. Everybody is wise up now. Honestly, if you even look at the type of comment people are even writing, you could even see that everybody who already know what they are what their next plan will be. Everybody just know. When they say the truth, what they are about to do, everybody already know. Everybody is already
pretty much like we are all living on a borrowed time right now. Anything can happen anytime. You believe so?
Yeah, Nigeria is just like a time bomb right now. Anything can happen. I'm telling you, anything can happen right now. And my prayer is just that my prayer is just that let it not be some kind of civil war. Let it go under revolution where they will only wipe out the evil leaders.
Yeah, without using tribe, ethnic or religious, whatever. Just go after them when you see them and deal
exactly
with them.
Go after the leaders. You know, we can't be suffering like this, and because if you go through war, it will not end up a poor man and a poor man killing themselves. Then these people might just run away. But if you go through revolution,
you know, they are already building themselves private airfields across Nigeria too.
You can imagine.
They are not going to use
so that
airport, all these airports you are
escape.
seeing. They are not going to use them to escape from Nigeria. They are already building airfields.
Yes.
Across the place
for easy escape.
Mazi, thank you so much. Let me just
thank you very much.
kindly get another
I'm
one
happy
and see.
To speak to you this night.
Thank you. You have a wonderful evening, okay? And my regards to the family. I could hear them behind there, right?
Yeah, my wife always say, Mayego, and she's here.
Hello, Mayego. Lovely to speak to you.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm very well. I said to him, "You're always giving us bad news," but he won't listen to me.
It's not
he
bad
keeps listening.
Do you really think it's all bad? You see, sometimes, right? When you know what they say in Igbo, right? What they say in Igbo that when we carry somebody else's corpse, they just feel like a log of wood. But when we carry our own somebody with our own loved one, their corpse and all that, they are heavier than normal, right? So the reason why all of us should never wait till we are victims, okay, before we kind of speak up, is why we are using other people's stories and all of that to tell ourselves that, hey. But nevertheless, thank you so much.
Thank you for speaking truth to power all the time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you too. I think I've just got 3 in 1 there. Yours, the little one, and the missus, right? So I'll leave you tonight. Okay. Thank you so much, Baba. You have a good one. Okay. Cheers, man. So thanks a lot, everyone who is still here, right? Olori. I remember when Olori would tell me that Mayegun, I've tried to stop watching your program every evening. That I watch the program, so kind of always worried there's something to make me. And I was like, that is why I introduced the comic break in between. Okay, I'm not a comedian, but I had to devise means of trying to break the tension. Okay, because what you are witnessing here mostly is a need to know basis. Now that we are actually going further to get get people to stop. Not to stop at just talking. Okay, just like acting too. And I don't know how that has worked so far. Okay, because if you really know what is going on in Nigeria, like if you really do know what is going on, apart from what I know, you can never be happy with those rogues in Nigeria. You can't. It doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter how gentle you are. No people will say no. It doesn't really matter. Okay, if you know better, if you know what they're up to, you probably will be harder on them than myself. Okay, let me take this.
You know what?
Hello there.
Yeah, General Mayego.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I greet you. I'm doing fine.
Grand. I too. Go on, please.
Yeah. First of all, my name is Nana. This is the second time I'm calling you.
Grand one.
I wouldn't know if
please.
Yeah, the first time I called you was I think sometime September last year when I was lucky enough to get you through.
And there you
so I'm here in
2024. You're lucky
in Glasgow with you. Yeah, that's true.
I think we are both lucky.
Absolutely.
Because I would love to hear from people who have been like I've been lucky to speak to, and it's been a long time. I want to hear from them again.
Yeah.
People like yourself.
Absolutely.
So yes.
Thank you very much.
You're so welcome.
Because of our time, I just have one thing to contribute tonight.
Please.
And that has to do with the fact that so many of us who are ardent listeners of your program or followers, and who also pay attention to history would know that Nigeria has actually got into a spot where it becomes very, very clear to even people who don't follow your programs or listen, who pay attention to history, that Nigeria has reached a point where certain things can no longer reverse itself.
No.
So now, say for instance, I know so many of them will be thinking by now that Nigeria will still be okay, that things will still go back to normalcy, that things will still go back to the olden days how it used to be. But the truth is, if we look at how, for instance, how the Roman Empire collapsed, you see, there were just three factors that actually facilitated the collapse of the Roman Empire, and one of which is corruption. And I wouldn't want anybody to begin to discuss anything about corruption in Nigeria, because if you ask me to compare, I will tell you that the level of corruption in Nigeria is even worse off of what we know of the ancient Rome.
Exactly.
But in this case,
what history told us about the ancient Rome? I'm following you, bro. Please.
Exactly. If we say, for instance, we check the book of William Shakespeare, Julius Caesar, you see, Shakespeare was able to point a very important lesson how corrupt the people of the ancient Rome were. You know, it's very easy for people to rise up to becoming great in life, and it is also very easy for the same people to fall. And how do people fall? It takes people who are corrupt around them, you know, to destroy something that is good. Okay, so the point that I'm trying to make is Caesar in that book was represented as an icon of a Roman society, having risen from the scratch. But it took people who are corrupt, you know, who said, no, this guy is so ambitious, blah, 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 and they brought him down. But that is not the area I'm going to anyway. The kind of corruption in Nigeria is so endemic that it will not only destroy the individuals there or the people there, it will end up destroying the nation itself. And that is because everybody, whether we like it or not, in one way or the other, have had this court of silence for so long. That when I just heard you when you were saying something about a driver being shot and some passengers made away with, and a baby was abandoned. And again, you said about 500 people, though you said you've not verified it, were killed in Agatu. And you see how everybody is going about their businesses as if nothing happened. And now the reason that is possible is because our values have been corrupted. Okay, so even if that thing happens to our neighbor, our next door neighbor, believe me, if that is Nigeria for you, you wake up the next morning and you go to work.
And you move on.
So until that happens to you, you will never understand how corrupt this the society of Nigeria in fact has become. So now another factor that will speed up the breakup of Nigeria is okay, you know, I was talking about the Roman Empire, for instance. Right. You see, the Roman Empire was so big. I mean, this is the second factor now. The Roman Empire was so big that there was a problem of administration. Okay, so many people, so many of its administrative units were exercising different powers, because the power coming from Rome can no longer affect the whole of the empires as it were then. So you see, when Tinubu, for instance, is saying he wants to relocate CBN and the federal something authorities to Lagos, these are some complex issues that him as a person that truly understand the Nigerian factor. He knows very, very well that Nigeria is so complex, and somehow I want to believe that he's seeing the future from the distance where he is at the moment. And like you rightly said the other time, he might not be moving all those assets for any other reason other than to enrich himself.
Control it and bring it to base.
Exactly, and I quite agree with that. But at the same time, you see, the issue of Nigerian complexity was have influenced Tinubu's decision to move those assets to Lagos. And now the final one, which caused the downfall of the ancient Rome, is the fact that there was this minority tribe from Europe known as the people of the Germanic tribe. You see, this Germanic tribe of a people, in my opinion, are playing, or rather, the Fulani people in Nigeria are replicating the exact role the people of the Germanic tribe played when the ancient Rome was about to collapse. So this Germanic tribe were very small people, very, very small. So every now and then they will be attacking the Roman Empire, and the Roman Empire was so big. But at that time, when this attack was being orchestrated on the Roman Empire, the Roman Empire was having so many internal and external problems, such that they could not contain the aggression when the Germanic tribe was invading them. So, and the people of Rome were so docile; nobody was doing anything. Today, they will go to this part of the empire, they will attack, they will kill people, they will conquer the territory, they will take it over. Now, the other people who are feeling safe on the other side, we say, after all, it is happening on the other side. Okay, so that was how the Germanic people continued to conquer Rome, and before you knew it, the ancient Roman, the Roman Empire collapsed. So that same scenario, believe me, is happening before everybody's eyes in Nigeria. And if care is not taken, we keep saying it. It's just a matter of time, because I mean, the indices are out there. This is out there. So, Maego, please. This is just the
so
little I
much,
celebrate contribution.
You just took us through, history there, and I bet you,
thank you.
Probably have triggered some chord in some people tonight that they will like, I remember that. I'm gonna go carry my history book again and read it. Thank you so much. Right?
Oh my God.
For approaching it from that perspective, Baba, you did well. Thank you. So I am going to take just one more call, and that will be us tonight. I know a lot of people are trying to get through. Okay, sorry about that. Our time is really, really up now. I have about 5 minutes to go. I have a caller already. Hello there.
Hello.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Yeah, hello. Good evening. This is Kalu from London.
Hey, bro, Kalu. How you doing tonight, by the way?
I'm fine, thank you.
So I have a Kalu on the line, and it's going to be my last caller tonight. Please.
Obviously, I'm turning on the broadcast. So what I'm trying to say is, with regards to what is going on, I will say people with long memory like you do should remember when we're discussing these issues before the election. We had a conversation at some point where we said, if anything was to happen in Nigeria, it's going to start from the north. The reason why it's going to start from the north is because down south, we have human conscience. We speak grammar. And when we want to do something, we think twice. We use our education to try to balance everything off, to have a rational mindset. Up north is religion first, before the human conscience. And anything that don't align with the religion is seen as haram. And if you remember, we had a conversation at some point where we said Boko Haram was set up so that when the southern presidency comes in, if it doesn't do to the bidding of the north, they will create chaos to get rid of him.
We did speak about that. I remember.
Thank you. Yes, even before the elections. Whatever is happening now are all being set up to make Tinubu make that wrong decision. First of all, they did Muslim. Shettima wasn't Tinubu's choice, but Shettima was imposed on Tinubu because that is how the Northerners, they want a Northern Christian. Now he's got in there. Tinubu is not giving him the power they expect him to have. Tinubu is treating him in the way they treated Osibanjo. Now the North is not happy with that. All these riots you're hearing, people are complaining coming from the North. The same people didn't say Pium when Buhari was there.
Because he was haram.
The same people, thank you. Why is all of a sudden not a haram now?
It's no longer haram.
These issues have been going on. All these people that are coming out to protest now, why didn't they come outside to protest when Boko Haram was murdering their children? No, they don't come outside. But food now becomes the basis for which they're going to be fighting.
All they need is something to start something. We all
Thank
know.
you. And like you said earlier, I will advise any Southern military person not to engage in any stupid coup. It's just an agenda to drive out a Southern president.
That's right.
I'm not a Tinubu supporter. Yeah. And I don't support him for any reason. However, they force him on everybody, let them enjoy the fruit of their labor.
But we are dying.
Because the same
Kalu, you know my own stand, right? You
the
know
same way people were screaming.
I know. You know mine is anything that is going to remove Thiefnubu should remove the entire establishment. That's my own stand. You understand? Like starting from their national assembly, the entire system, Shada, you no longer have all this governor, this everything anymore. And whichever one we can catch, we catch them. They will start conversation around if we still want to have one country or another one. You know what I mean? That's my own kind of way of dealing with them. Or if anything happened to Thiefnubu, now Shettima will be next. And the shege, you know, is so kind of, you know, but none of this is in our control.
I always said it that they were thinking Tinubu was gonna die within the first 6 months.
I know.
And the guy played them the best way possible. Acted stupid, mad, everything. And they ran away with it. The only fear they had with Obi was that if he comes in, everything is gonna be by merit. That quota system will disappear. That gave them the power over every other person. They were scared of that. So they decided to put all money, all power to make sure that Tinubu emerges. And Tinubu played a very, very strategic role by making sure that the INEC chairman remains. Reason being that anytime he wants to manipulate an election, he already have a willing tool already. You tell him you made the first one, you can continue doing it. And don't be surprised if that guy is there till 2027.
He's actually going to be. He's tenor hand in 2028.
The North will not say him because they put him there thinking that when they put Tinubu there, he will die. They will continue to manipulate the system. Tinubu is going to make sure he sit there, run all the show for him till he gets what he wants.
Wow.
And by the time the North will realize what they did to themselves, it's way too late.
But when we say the North, are we not referring to their elite? What about the ordinary people? Just like South, when we say the South. Are we not supposed to be referring to this elite in the South? Or should we just say the North is responsible as well for those decisions? I'm talking about the people now.
Okay. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh.
That's right.
And out of the population, leaders are selected.
That's all right.
Those people that are elite are representative of the North. Can't you see how many NSAS, when they are protesting NSAS, how many northern youths came outside apart from the middle belt to protest? Which means they are happy with what they were getting. When people like Obedient were screaming, don't vote these people, don't vote these people. They did not come outside to tell you anything.
No.
When people were going to court in Abuja to say, if they declare this person a winner, they're going to put. How many northern states came outside to say, we did not vote for this person?
Well, they were asking Tinubu to kill anybody that tried to, and they still do. It's all mixed up. I know, Kalu.
No. Let's just be honest. If when you had the chance to even say you are not part of the system, you came out and say you're part of the system, then the system start punishing you. You're not expecting me to wake up from my bed and come and tell you, you're the minority, you're the smallest person on the table. No. Your action, like you always say here, your actions have consequences. Election have consequences.
That's right.
And it's time we start telling people, the moment you take that, you wake up in the morning and you say A, that A means A. If it doesn't mean A, better go back and tell the person you told, please, it doesn't mean A. Like the parable you said, the child was telling his dad, I was joking with you. That joke has consequences.
It does.
And that has been what has been happening. Nigerians have come to a point where the younger generation, I will say the Gen Zs, have woken up to the point where they can see what is happening all over the world. They can see opportunities. But people born with 80s, 70s have not realized that these people have right to think for themselves. And the people up north and the leadership do not actually understand the relationship between poverty and economic prosperity.
I don't think they do.
How can somebody like Sanusi, I'm not disparaging him here, he come in and speak all the grammars. How many people's life has he changed up north? Why has he not nominated somebody very, very important that can even come outside and change the system? I mean, if let's just not even go too far. If, for example, the way Abia State governor is performing, other governors are performing half of that across Nigeria, do you think people like you will have a platform?
You know what I mean? We'll just turn to pressing gas, showing everybody new things that they just built.
You don't have a platform.
You know?
And that is why when the people are saying, oh, when they say they're not, no. We in the South complain. The same way you complain. Okay, Sunday Bo came outside from the southwest.
Yes, he did.
Nnamdi Kanu came out from the south.
That's right.
East. Who came out from the north? These are questions you begin to ask yourself.
None.
Even come outside, let DSS arrest you first. Let's know that DSS have arrested you. Then we know, okay, yeah, so at least you are agitating that you're not part of the system.
Exactly.
Look at what Niger State governor did a couple of days ago, saying no more food should leave his state. How many southern states can make the same policy and get away with it in the south?
I don't think
I begin to ask myself, we don't work in the same, we're not of the same mindset. No. We are never of the same mindset.
We are never cut from the same fabric. We have nothing in common if all of us have been honest enough. But yeah.
I was watching a program 2 days ago about Ivory Coast, where somebody there, business people from there, actually can be traced their ancestry to Ejibo.
That's right.
In southwest Nigeria. And they tell you that if they want to take their light, they send them a text message living in a particular area to tell them they're going to take their light. It's going to be taken for how many hours? This one is going to come back. Ivory Coast here. And as well, the government will ask you, after submitting tax return for 3 years, they will ask you, Oga, you've been submitting tax return for 3 years. Do you need loan to increase your business? And we are calling ourselves Giant of Africa, Giant of Africa, Giant of Africa.
What makes us giants?
Giant of waiting. Giant that cannot afford to pay salary to staff that finish work. Giant that cannot afford to feed themselves.
Or power their homes.
With this in this thing that Niger and these people have done now, you're only talking about Niger. What if the other Mali and other people join in this same system and say, okay, you know what? We have made a military park. We don't want any of your planes from south passing our borders to go
across our airspace.
Do you know how many miles? That means you have to be doing. There will no longer be direct flight to Nigeria anymore.
No,
it has to be transit. Now, if you're doing transit, what is the guarantee with all the flight accidents we're having across the country everywhere?
No, you just find yourself in any of those flying coffins. You have no idea who they are, but your airline says they will have to carry you from here. We know they enter Nigeria because we can't fly over that place. See, Kalu, you and I can actually really speak for the rest of the night. Indeed, we just did that, okay? My time is really, really up now, and I so much appreciate, your contribution this evening. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
right?
Thank you very much. Thank you. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're trying your best. Just keep.
Thank you.
I don't have any hard feeling against whatever is happening. Just that at the end of the day, everything has consequences. We should just. Tinubu must do. In short, Tinubu must do 12 years. He must do 12 years.
Oh, no, I will give him 12. Okay.
Yeah, I will give him 12.
And not just
he must do 12 years.
7. Okay, we'll see how that goes. It's like you just finish everybody. So that next time, and who's going to be left
after the 12 years? Next time when they tell them to come and vote,
may do 12. You know what I mean?
Make it when they tell anybody to come and vote next time, they open their eyes.
Their senses. But God forbid, I say God forbid on their behalf because I get family there, Kalu. You know what I mean? This is pretty much like a scary nightmare.
It's not about scary nightmare. You go to an election polling unit, you tell persons from here, say, I beg, vote this person. You go tell you, say, Ogbeni, because you dey Europe, you talk. You don't know what they happen for ground. Then when the thing will come, they happen for ground. After you don't vote, when the thing they happen for ground, come they happen for ground, you come they call you. In they call you, say what?
So what? So come and see, Kalu. Thank you so much, right? Sending word to everyone. Okay, you have a wonderful evening over there. Bye-bye. Thank you so much. Now, that's where we will draw the curtains tonight. I don't even have to add anything. My time is far spent. So I want to say thank you to every one of you as well for this evening. I will see you some other time. So you all have a wonderful evening and good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Mayegun dayari politico. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ̀lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí abínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.